news, isn't
Wow.
We're live, guys. Welcome to the deadline day special. And here we go, as Forest is still not done. Good morning, good evening, or good night, or should I say bonjour, what's good afternoon in French?
Bon appetit.
Bon après-midi.
Bon oui is night.
Après-midi.
That will be it.
Après-midi.
Yeah, what answered? Sharpen up your new French. You never know when we're going to need it. We never know when the call's going to come in. Hope you guys are doing well, and welcome to what's becoming tradition now, the deadline day stream, where Forest, as always, have been extremely busy, and it looks like it's going to continue as Forest is still in for another player. Get those likes up, guys. Let's get it out the way now. Hope you're doing well. We got a lot to talk about. We'll bring you up to speed on everything. And firstly, let's give Brandon a massive shout out with 5 months. Brandon, you absolute legend. Hope you're well. Good to see all of you in the chat. And there's Forest Till I Die. 6 months. Thank you so much, buddy. Keep those questions coming in. Use those super chats. Make sure you're a member. We've got the gnome to give away tonight as well. Waiting for the announcement about Ramsdale, says Sharpie. You're going to be waiting a long time, mate. You're going to be waiting forever. Stoney with the 15 months. You legend. Thank you so much. Evening to Ben, evening to Mad Lion, evening to all of you. I will try and keep up with your chat as best we can. Jurgen with the 9 months as well. Thank you so much, buddy. They're all flowing in. Jasper with the 5 months. Thank you so much, matey. And here we are, ladies and gents. Another transfer window is coming to an end, and Forest not as busy as they have been, Rob, but you need a bit of catch-up still on this, don't you? How are you, mate? You well?
I'm fine, thank you. I was at a funeral today, so that set the tone. But I've just been watching your videos back to back since I got home, and I think I'm almost up to date, unless we've signed anyone in the last 10 minutes. I think the business so far has been okay. I mean, it's difficult to do really good business in the January window. It's just a fact of life. And with us being last-minute merchants, it's more of the same, isn't it?
Yeah, indeed it is. Indeed it is. We got loads more just to say hi to. As where are we here? Paul, you absolute legend with the year. Happy 1-year anniversary, Paul. Thank you so much for the 12 months. The lovely Carol with the 9 months. Thank you so much, Carol. Matthew with the year anniversary as well. Thank you so much. And Brandon, you are way too generous, mate. Gifting 5 subs, and they've gone to, I can't even see it. The chat is just flowing in. Make sure you shout out to Brandon the legend if you just received yourself a gifted sub. Bill with the 14 months. Thank you so much, buddy. And Chewy with those 12 months. You absolute legend. Okay, I will keep those memberships. I'll shout them out as they come through. There's already 400 of you in here. Please don't forget to hit the like. Make sure you're subscribed. And how are you feeling about the business so far from Forest? Are you underwhelmed, overwhelmed, or as expected for you?
Yeah, kind of mixed. I mean, I'm mixed between underwhelmed and pissed off.
Oh, we're getting to the pissed off stage. Okay, interesting.
Yeah. Because we're fucking about with goalkeepers, and I've been doing for the last 18 months. We should have got Henderson when we had the chance, paid whatever it took. Because look at the state we're in now, and this guy coming in, I'm not excited, mate. I'm not excited. He's got the worst stats in French football. I've never heard of him. I don't believe for 1 minute that Nuno's dead excited about getting him. I think Forest have put that out because they know that everybody's underwhelmed, so they put it out that Nuno wanted him. We've got rid of our best midfielder, our most consistent midfielder this season. So I actually think we're going in weaker than we were coming out of the transfer window, weaker than we went in. So I'm not very happy.
Okay. I mean, thanks for putting a downer on the stream, man. Appreciate it, bud. But, we are as honest as we always are. Chat, how are you feeling? Underwhelmed or overwhelmed in the stream. Sharpie with the $4.99. Big up for keeping us updated on transfers through the month. Our pleasure, Sharpie. We've enjoyed doing it. It's not been as crazy as one's past. So we've just about been able to keep up with it. And Truman Jace, the legend, gifting a membership, and that's gone to Horse Renoir. Ooh, maybe a French speaker there. Make sure you got your phone handy. Thank you so much, Truman Jace, and Horse. Make sure you shout him out as well. Crypto, I see you must be excited because I see a new shirt behind you with a certain 20 that doesn't say Johnson above it. So you're hyped up about Reyna?
Yeah, I think Reyna looks good. I'm hyped, and the guy in the shop did the sales technique on me of offering me a discounted shirt for a player that he'd clearly never heard of, probably for good reason. So I think he's going to be good. I've got a slightly different view to Ant. I think it's quite a positive transfer window. We've all been sat here saying we'd take any keeper over Turner, including Sunday league keepers, and now we've got a French league keeper, so we can't be too harsh on him.
Same thing.
I think we need to give him time and see what he's like. I know his stats aren't very good, but I've been surfing the realm of Twitter, and quite a lot of their fans are disappointed that he's leaving. So he must be all right. He can't, imagine if Turner was leaving, he wouldn't get the same respect from our fans. So
we'd have a party, mate.
Exactly. So they're definitely not having a party. So look, I think let's give him a chance. We'll see what he's like. He's definitely better than what we've got in already. But yeah, with the other signings, I think it's pretty positive as well. The one thing I would have liked to have seen is almost a replacement for Mangala. Obviously, Sangare and Danilo can play in that slot. But if one of them was to be injured, you're back to the point of having Yates as a starter, which I don't think is great if we're going to try and progress up the league table. No disrespect to Yates, but I prefer him as a super sub.
I think that is disrespectful to Yates myself. I mean, he's the captain now. He's the captain.
He's good in certain circumstances. Yeah, but Worrell was the captain, and he's shit, and no one even wants to take him up.
Had to bring it back to Worrell, didn't you?
Worrell in theory is still,
and
we can't even shift him. We can't shift him. We
just need to offer Sheffield more money, and they might take him.
Sheffield don't have any money. Their manager's complaining about people eating sandwiches.
We should have offered them more money.
Well, maybe Rob can take him there on his bus. But look, I'm not trying to insult Yates. I'm just saying that I prefer him as a super sub, and I think he's better used in certain matches where he can get involved more physically. You can't compare the skill of Mangala to Ryan Yates.
No, Mangala's gone missing in quite a few games recently, and
Rob. Come on.
He has. He was invisible in the last game. I don't know why they even picked him. He was it's like he wasn't playing.
Comparing Mangala
to midfielder
is like comparing Van Dijk to Worrell.
But Mangala's been a lot better this season, especially when he's been alongside Sangare. But last season, all he ever did was pass backwards or sideways. And, so he's played a lot of games for us and he's been better recently. But, I mean, you got to remember, he didn't even play the first 4 or 5 games under Nuno. So, he's not definitely gone anyway. It's only a loan. So
you wouldn't sell Ryan Yates for 25 million, would you?
Well, let me just give a quick update on the Mangala situation. We've got confirmation of the deal. So 6 months loan with an obligation to buy. Yes. So I'm just looking at breaking news for you guys now. 6 month loan with an obligation to buy. Loan fee plus obligation plus add-ons is a total deal of 35 million euros. So you're looking at, I believe it's 8 million up front, and that will leave, what's the maths on that? Someone quickly do it.
27.
The 32 million euros, about what, 28 million? So you're looking at 20 million in obligation. So does that change how you guys feel about Mangala?
I think that's very good business. That's pretty much paid for Sangare.
Terrible business. Shocking business. If we get relegated, it's absolutely awful. I don't care whether he's on loan or whether he's gone permanently. The fact is, he's not here for the next 4 or 5 months of the season. Shocking business. You don't sell one of your better players when you're in our situation, no matter what the money is. Like, who gives a shit about how much money we got for him?
There's
We
two
ain't
ways.
spending it, are we?
That's profit, though. That's profit.
Mm.
Yeah,
So
but
what?
there's
So
two.
what? Is that what we are now?
That's
A business
also-
like,
and
you know,
that's
like
I
Chelsea.
know
Is that
that
what
it
we
goes
are?
into this season rather than last season, but I think we have to show a profit this window as mitigate. We are pleading mitigation against FFP, and I think if we show a profit this window, it really doesn't hurt because we're trying to behave in a sustainable way.
Won't make
Now,
any
I
difference.
don't
If
like
we're
it
out to
as
get, you're
much
gonna
now.
get
It's
it.
an obligation. I thought that this position an hour ago is we were getting money for nothing, which was basically not pick him for 6 months or for 16 games, and here's like 8 million or something. Now he's definitely gone. But if it works out as 28 million pounds, that's nearly the cost of Sangare, and you would say that Sangare is hopefully an upgrade on Mangala.
It's worse than
I
Ryan.
tell you what, we should have done. We should have sold MG for 50 million because that would have been some more profit.
It's,
And
I don't
maybe
think
Niakate for
What's
20
your
million.
valuation
Well,
of
let's sell
Mangala
all
then?
our best fucking players for profit,
What-
shall we? And go
What
down.
is your
Let's do
valuation
that.
of
That's
Mangala then?
fantastic management, that is.
If you think
Honestly,
that 28 is
you
short,
make me so annoyed. These people like you,
and
Rob.
what is
honestly,
your
profit? Who gives a shit about profit? I care about football and my football
what's your
club,
valuation
right?
of
I
Mangala
don't
then?
want us to go down. You go down with your pile of shit that you're left with. You go down with your profit in the bank, right?
Mangala's not the be all and end all of whether we
really
stay
have
up.
to tell everybody. Let's see that, shall we? Well,
Rob,
done.
Rob,
Now, no longer a football club.
the council's bankrupt. We can't take financial advice from you.
Right. Okay. I did my very best to oppose that council. I could.
Not good enough. Not good
Right.
enough.
I'm
your
actually
argument
with
was
Rob
probably
on
as
this.
weak as this one is now, mate.
Can you
Hold on,
ask
don't
Matt
tell your
what
best
is his
players. I've been
valuation of
I've been there
Mangala?
before.
He won't answer. Like a
I've
politician,
been
he
there
won't
before.
answer.
I've been there before. I've seen us sell our better players, and I've seen what happens to us afterwards. It sounds exactly the same every single time we go down. Every time we sell our best players, we go down.
Ants, 2 points. One, Rob's asking you, what do you value Mangala? I know what you're going to say, but I'll say it for the record. What do you value Mangala at then? Do you not think 30 million is a good deal for him?
Yeah, it's decent enough. If it's 30 million quid, then that's probably decent enough. But I still wouldn't sell him, mate. Because 80 would be good for MGW, and I wouldn't sell him. I'm sorry, I'm not in the business of making profit on players. I'm in the business of the better players staying at Nottingham Forest and making us a better team.
Yeah. There's other players
how I
we
was
can
brought
sell.
up, to hopefully have the best team possible, not to have as much money in the bank.
Let me just follow up with 2 questions. Okay. Again, a point Rob makes. I think I'm siding with Rob on this one. Hold on. Nuno hasn't been playing Mangala, right? Nuno has not been playing Mangala. And if Nuno's not got him in the plans, surely it's better off that we do take the money for Mangala, because as much as I rate him, and I don't want the deal, I want him to stay. I'll say that for the record. But if Nuno's not going to play him, surely selling him and bringing that money in is the right option, is it not?
That you're absolutely right, and it's the same if Mangala was determined to go, which he may well be. I don't know.
Maybe it is.
I'm just saying it from a very, very basic standpoint of I'd rather not sell our better players, and I don't like the reasoning being a financial one. Now, if it's a Nuno one, that's a different matter. I can get on board with that. If Nuno absolutely doesn't rate him, is not going to play him, then of course we're better off selling him. Then I would criticize Nuno. Okay. But at the moment, I don't know that. I don't know that. All I know at the moment is people telling me it's good money. It's good money. I don't care about the money.
3 or 4 matches. He has been playing. For me, there's 2 things. Like, if he wants to leave for whatever reason, then he has to go, because if you don't want to be at the club, there's no point keeping you. We don't know that. The rumor on the street is that he's a bit annoyed about his peers earning more money than him. Now,
that's true as well.
If he's on £30,000 a week, which is less than people like Joe Worrell, then I'm not surprised he's annoyed. Obviously, £30,000 a week is a lot of money. But if you see your peers who are not as good as you earning 2-3 times as much, you're going to be pissed off. Whether you're earning £30,000 a week or £300 a week, you're going to be annoyed. So if they're not willing to pay him what he's worth, then obviously he's going to
We
want
don't
to
know
go.
any of this,
The
though,
same
do
as,
we?
we don't know. It's
any of it.
speculation. It's the same with Samba, though. Exactly the same happened with Samba. Samba didn't get what he thought he was worth, which is right to say, and he left, and that's his choice. So, you know, I think Mangala is much better than people like Yates. He's way better than people like Kyoto. I mean, why are we not selling Kyoto? He's absolutely dreadful.
You can only sell
It's
people that
about
are
profit.
dropping
There's
one
people we can
time.
get rid of.
One at a
Ship
time,
Warren.
one at a time.
Kouyaté off. Kick Turner out the fucking club. There's lots of players we can get rid of if we're talking about making profit. And Mangala shouldn't be one of them. He's one of our best players.
So you're on to keep him, Ben?
I'd keep him if he wants to stay. I mean, if he doesn't want to stay, which we won't know, then fair enough. He has to go. But he has been playing recently while the lads have been at AFCON. And for me, he's still one of our best players.
Yeah, I think this is a cracking point by 1865. If he wasn't happening with 30k, he should have got his agent.
It was only last year. It was only last year.
It's seeing what your peers one at a time.
Yeah, but you put that out, didn't you?
Huh?
You put that out. He's right there. If he did, we don't know. We don't know what salary he's on. We don't know whether he's happy with his salary. And I'll tell you something. Lyon, at the bottom of the French Ligue 1, will not be paying massive salaries. I can assure you that. And it's not a more prestigious club than Forest. So why he would want to go there over Forest would surprise me. Unless he's been told it's not in the team. But I don't believe that either.
But he's been playing recently. So that
Can I
wouldn't
come
make
back on the finances, please? Can I come back on the finances? Right, look above Crypto's head, right? Those 5 names are potentially the core of a team that can finish in the top 10, in the top half of the table, right? Now, what you're trying to do is structure your finances so that you can protect that core. And if it means selling somebody who is your 9th or 10th best player in order to establish and hang on to those 5, I would rather that. We sold Johnson and we have suffered as a consequence. I think we underestimate how important he was.
Let him finish.
So what I'm saying is, right, if getting the 30 million for Mangala means that we can keep Murillo, or we can turn Reyna into a perm, or we can keep Gibbs White, then it's worth it. It's not about, look, Marinakis isn't taking money out of the club. It's not Owen Oyston, right? He's got to work within FFP, right?
Yeah, but there's other players. There's other players we can sell.
Rubbish, man.
I do not think that Mangala would be a regular starter in a team.
Mate. You haven't got a clue. You haven't got a clue what the reason is.
Mangala would not get a place in any of the top 10 teams in this league. I don't think he's that good.
Are you insane? Are you insane?
You can't put. You're not going to put Yates ahead of Mangala in a top 10 team. Mangala is a brilliant.
No, but we've got both. We've got both, and someone wanted to buy Mangala. You can only sell players that people want to buy. Everyone's like, "Oh, why don't we sell Hennessy for 20 million?" Because nobody wants him. You can only sell players that people want to buy.
Hang on, who said that? Don't just chuck things out there. I believe in reality, not fantasy. Who said that? Tell me who said that.
Right, hold on. We haven't even started talking about the transfers and the arguments are raging. And I gotta say, the chat back in Rob here.
When people say sorry, what have I said that's wrong?
Anyway,
don't just put you're wrong. Say what I've said that's wrong, and then I can address it.
Can we type in sentences, and calm down. All right, okay. We haven't even started talking about the transfers. Let's everyone take a breather. Let's get through the super chats. Jordan, thank you so much for the 199. Hey boys, hope you're all good. Yeah, Ez, if you're watching, get your ass on, man. I need another ref. Joe, where are you? Get your asses on. Thank you so much, buddy. Shadow he's become a new member. He's not a new member, but he's been there for 8 months. Thank you so much, Shadow. There's your question answered. Brandon with a £10. Brandon, you absolute legend. What does everyone think about the outgoings? Personally, I don't think there's been enough. We are 1,000,000% going to be talking about that, bro. It's on the agenda. And Sharpie, thank you so much for the $4.99. Breaking news: AFC Rushden and Diamonds have purchased Worrell for their new walking football midweek team. There you go, Crypto. You'll be happy to hear your boy has gone. So Rushden and Diamonds. Yeah. Thank you so much for the 4.99 and this beautiful looking young man here, and Will, 17 months. Thank you so much, Will. Appreciate it, bud. Okay. Right. Shall we start getting into? Let's put a pin in the players going out, because I want to talk about that, because I do agree. I think there needs to be more that have gone. And this offer and the other one that's ongoing right now is Akpom, man, old school Forest boy, who Forest put in a bid for. I believe it was 15 million euros as a loan, and that's the option to buy, which was rejected by Ajax, who counter offered, wanting 17 million euros. The talk is that Akpom is interested in a return to Forest. I mean, can we call it a return? Because what did he play? 6-7 games at Forest? Unmemorable for me.
What's he going to
10 years ago?
To? Scoring 0 goals like Andre Ayew did? I mean,
Ayew 2.0 coming. It does feel like that, yeah. Exactly. Let's start this way. Does anyone on the panel want him?
Yes. No. I do. So I'm going to be under fire again now.
Million, you know, FFP, PSR, we're going to be next 17 million. Are you mad? Okay. We should keep that in the bank.
We just signed Ribeiro. He's a striker as well. Why do we need so many strikers?
Let's hear why, because I'm not for this one. But go on, Rob. Why? Chat, would you take him or not?
I'm not sure about the 17 million part, right? Okay, so let's just take the money out of it. Okay. He is a player that he isn't a has-been, and he isn't a never was. He's had one good season, and that was last season. So he's still, he's still in form. According to Wikipedia, which is never wrong, he scored 5 goals for Ajax this year, right?
Yeah.
I'm a bit curious about why they want to let him go, but my concern is right now, if Wood gets injured, or Awoniyi gets injured, or both get injured, we're down, right? We are in such dire straits striker-wise, and I don't think that we can put it onto Rodrigo or Osong to fire us out of the mess. You definitely need a third one. Now, we might have a wish list that's got all sorts of people on it, right? But how many of them are available right now? We need to understand that the next 16 games are going to be pivotal in the future of this club, because we're going to have to get, at worst, 10 more points than Luton, right, to stay up. And that's going to mean something like 1.5 points per game for the rest of the season. So you can't leave any stone unturned. You can't say, oh, we're not going to spend 15 million on a proven goal scorer. No, we'll buy someone in the summer when we've already gone down. We've identified that striker was a weakness. He can do a job. He can be our number 3 striker. As I've told you before, I've watched far too many Blackpool games. I watched him for playing for Middlesbrough against Blackpool last year. I know it's only Blackpool who he struggled against, but he scored a hat-trick against Blackpool in that game. And I thought, I cannot believe this is the same pile of crap that we had on loan from Arsenal 8 years before, right? So I think he's not a bad link. I would not want us to be trying to bring in people to try and give them game time, or give them a chance to develop. That's not the position that we're in, right? He has had one good season, and it wasn't 5 years ago. It was last season, which means
in a different league.
Yeah, in the Championship, right? Okay, but if somebody scored 28 goals in the Championship this year, would we be interested in buying them in the summer? We probably would, right?
No.
So you would rather have nobody than Akpom, right? If it was Akpom or nobody, I'm in the Akpom camp. I will be chairman of the Akpom camp. If it's him or nobody...
You've just said you've got to sell Mangala for money, and now you're chucking it away on a nobody.
Yes, I agree, Anne. I agree.
I don't know the details of the deal. It should be a loan. It should be a loan.
Succeed.
It is. Okay, let me give you the details, because a couple in the chat saying they've just joined late and they don't know who we're talking about. So, Chuba Akpom, the ex-Forest player, played 7 games for us. When was it? Back in 2015 or something ridiculous like that?
I can't judge him on that.
There's an official bid that went in. Loan with a buy option clause worth 16 million euros. The clause would become active if Forest stay in the Premier League. That's the offer that's been rejected, and they've countered saying 17 million, and I think they want to remove if you stay up.
Oh no, right. I wouldn't accept that. I'm not that desperate, right? I wouldn't accept that. We do not want another Chris Wood situation where, I mean, by the way, I think he's been a decent player for us, just not on the terms that we paid for him, right?
Agree. I'd agree with that.
We don't want to make the same mistake again, right? So leaving the finances out, I think the player is potentially the right fit for us at this moment for the rest of the season. I don't think he's a marquee signing. I don't think he's a long-term signing, but you've got to understand the situation that we are in. We are very exposed if Wood or Awoniyi gets injured. In fact, even just with the two of them, I mean, how many games has Wood played in the last 3 or 4 weeks? He must be flagging, right? I mean, he was. Nuno said that he took Wood off at half time because Wood was tired, not to give game time to Awoniyi, right? So they're both, on one leg at the moment. We have to bring in.
You're forgetting about Ribeiro. We literally brought a striker about 6 hours ago.
Yeah, someone who's from Sporting B, right? He's never played.
I just
but people can't even remember this Forest player. The reason you don't remember him is because he's shit and he scored no goals.
Right.
Okay. Jump in, Anne. Let me hear your thoughts on Akpom.
Yeah, I can't get Rob's on it because the annoying thing about the Mangala thing is the fact that people saying it's for money, right? Okay. And now Rob's advocating spending a considerable amount of money on a nobody to pay third striker. Do you know his chances of getting a game of virtually nil? Virtually nil. Your third striker. How good is your third striker going to be at Forest? And this is half the problem with Forest. Is what's happened is that we've spent too many what are considered small amounts, like 10 million, 15 million, on mediocre players. That is a whole root of our problem. 43 players, of which a lot are mediocre. And all those 10s and 15s have added up. Yeah. You've only got to get 10 players at 15 million. It's 150 million spent. But what you've got is 10 mediocre players. And that's been where we've gone wrong. We needed to start buying better quality players around, like Sangare, around the 30 million mark. I would rather have one good player at 30 than two mediocre ones at 15. And we've got 43 players, Rob. We can't keep doing this, stockpiling this shit that we're doing. We've got 5 goalkeepers.
Okay, so we've got 7 central midfielders and 2 strikers, and you're saying don't sell a central midfielder and don't buy a striker.
Let him finish, Rob. Let him finish, and I'll get you straight back in.
Right. And what I've got is, what we've done is sell a quality midfielder. We've sold a quality midfielder. We've not sold any of the crap we've bought. We've sold a quality midfielder. And you think that's good football business, good football sense?
You want to replace that business with a.
That's why we are in the shit that we are in, because people like you are buying all these mediocre players for 10 to 15 million and thinking it's okay, and it's not. It's led to disaster. Okay?
You can't use the money for one of our better CDMs to buy a third place striker. Don't forget as well that
I like that analogy, Ben. I like that. Yeah,
this Ribeiro guy is on loan. So what does he do? Does he become our 4th best striker? What's the point of loaning him? If we go and buy this guy now, where does Ribeiro sit? Who's the 3rd? Who's the 4th? It's just a waste of money.
Can we clarify that? Did we buy Rodrigo or is he on loan?
He's on loan. There's an option to buy on it. Just very quickly, breaking news. Romano's just tweeted, Akpom deal definitely collapsing now. No green light from Ajax.
Can we stop wasting air on it then?
So yes, there we go. That's done. Deal collapsed. Thank God for that. Ant's gone off screen to strip down and celebrate by the looks of it. Grab a drink. Let's say good evening to Esmondo. How are you, bud?
I'm all right, mate. I'm all right. I was trying to have a nap. I could hear you guys arguing even without the phone on. So I thought I'd jump in.
Rob,
that is. No, you know what? I think Rob spoke some sense, to be honest, today. First time. You know what? I don't know why we're arguing about this situation, but I think the reality is we've got ourselves into a mess, and we have to get ourselves out of this mess. And we're not going to get ourselves out of a mess.
Hold on,
we're not going to get ourselves out of a mess by holding on to players. One, that don't want to be here. Two, don't seem to be in the manager's main plans. And three, that others want that we can get money for. So just to lash onto I think the last comment Ant made was about why don't we sell some of our shit? Who wants to buy our shit? Nobody's after our shit.
By the way.
But you're saying you're selling one of our better players when we've got all these other...
and buying the likes of... Trying to buy the likes of Agpong. So where's the profit? You've lost it already.
No, I'm not.
Don't just go with the flow. Think about it, mate.
No, Ant, I
agree with that statement from Ant. I do agree with that. I think there's a lot of...
He also said, you know, we've got other midfielders. Why aren't we selling them? But nobody wants those players. That's the problem.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
Yeah, Ez's saying it now, Ant. He's not saying you said that, but he's saying it.
Right, so we haven't got other sellable assets, and unfortunately, and this has always been the case. I don't know what Ant's referring to, but we've always been selling our best players, and yes, it has cost us. But that's when we've sold out. And please let me get my point out, please. You're not even on screen, and you interrupt.
Yeah, but don't misquote me. Then.
Let me get my point out before you respond to it.
If you misquote me, then I'm going to butt in because I don't like being misquoted.
Right. So
people saying things I haven't said.
All right, Ed, say your point. Say your point, Ed.
You really need to rewind and reflect on what was said.
No, I don't.
The point is, we've always sold our best players. We've always had to. And yes, when we've sold our best players, it hasn't turned out well. But Mangala isn't our best player. Our best players right now are Awoniyi and MG Dub. They're the two biggest assets. We shouldn't be looking to sell either of those at the moment. But if we can get some money from Mangala to get us out of a mess that we got ourselves into, and we have got ourselves into a mess, but we do need to get ourselves out of it. And by holding on to his players, and if we keep doing what we're doing, you're saying it's not going to affect. If the points deductions are going to affect us, there's no doubt about it. So we need to do what's right now to fix the mess that we've got ourselves into, because these players, not everybody, the stockpile of players that we've got, who wants them? Who wants the crap that we've bought? Nobody does. So the one or two that are decent, we're going to have to try and get some decent money for it. And I would say 30 million euros for Mangala is decent money. Decent money from what we paid for it. And if we hang out any longer, we're probably not even going to get that. So it's just a situation that we're in because of what we've done before that. And we have to learn from it. And we have to make it better, that we're not making these silly mistakes and buying players left, right, and centre. But it seems like this transfer window, we're falling into that same trap again. The scattergun approach I've seen for a goalkeeper today is absolutely embarrassing. And this is why others are taking the piss out of us. And we've got ammunition now, and we're giving them ammunition on every single opportunity that they need it. So, I mean, I think I agree we shouldn't be selling it, but unfortunately for the next few years, I think that's going to be the case. I think we're going to have to sell a top player every season just to stay above FFP or PSR rules. That's just the reality of the situation we're in until the rules change and they help the teams that are struggling and trying to make a name of themselves in the Premier League, instead of rewarding the big clubs who can just get away with it every single time. So there has to be a balance, but unfortunately, we're not the only ones who have to sell a top player every single season just to stay above, keep our heads above water. It's the reality of it.
Right. Let's take a quick breather. Right. Well, these guys just calm their temperatures down. We've got a lot of super chats to get through. And can I just ask as well, we've got SofaScore pinned to the chat. We got nearly 800 of you already in here. Thank you for chilling. Please don't forget to subscribe if you're new. Hit the like button, new or old. Make sure you do that. And if you could download SofaScore for us, it's completely free. All you got to do is click on it on your phone. Takes you straight to your iOS store or your Android store, and you help support the channel for completely free. Thank you to everyone who has done. And yes, Laurie, I will sip a drink for mentioning SofaScore just there in just a second.
Guys, I'm not messing about. I'm not messing about. We need to get up to at least 300 likes. There's over 700 of you in here, and we've got 135 likes. That's nowhere near good enough. 300 likes, guys, before we even carry on.
And if we can get 100 downloads,
I don't care about that. We're here for another few hours. We'll, we'll mute ourselves, innit? We don't care. You'll still watch us muted.
All right, let's get through the super chats. The beautiful Jordan Saying to Ant, are you there? This one's for you, Ant.
Thank you.
He's your biggest fan.
Ant, from your biggest fan, Jordan, with the 199. You absolute legend, Jordan. I'm not sure he should be your biggest. You should be his biggest fan. But okay, thank you so much. Sharky's in the house with the £2. Oh, there's so much Ant love coming in. Is that my wine, Ant? He says.
It's like yellow.
I actually did look for it, but they didn't have it, so I got me normal. But I am definitely going to get it, mate.
Bloody cold.
I'm definitely going to get
Convenient. S27 with the 199 as well. Gio Reyna will be great for you. Love from the US. I can't wait to get talking about Gio Reyna because honestly, I am extremely excited about him. And I want to get the chat's thoughts and I want to get the panelists' thoughts. We got so much to cover off. It's a good thing we're on for a few hours. Emily, Akpom deal looks off again. Emily, you've made my night with that 199, but more so your message. Thank you so much, Emily, for the 199. And from one Ant to the other, and the hat with a 499. Thank you so much. What's the betting? Ez's Wi-Fi goes down.
Put another $5 on it, Ant. If it does go down.
Good show, boys.
Ez is going to start panic buying
for me.
Wi-Fi subscriptions.
Good show, boys. He says this is a panic buying. I think he's talking about the window there. £2 from our very own Simon J. Thank you so much. And 30 million players don't want to come to Forest, he says. I know what Ant's going to say.
Next. Sangare next.
There you go, Si. There's your response. Joseph with the 199. Guys, stop squabbling. It's not fun for us. Joseph, I'm trying to mediate them. Boys, what I will say, get as passionate as you want. But stop talking over each other. It's a nightmare to hear what everyone's saying, okay?
I venture to say that a lot of people do like it.
Some do, some don't. Some love us, some hate us. It is what it is. But thank you, Joseph. Thank you for the 199. And then Wazza with the £2 super sticker. Wazza, thank you so much, buddy. All right, boys. Can we start talking about some actual transfers now?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay. Who should we kick off with, chat? Should we talk about Reyna? Should we talk about Yuri's kid? Or should we talk about the goalkeeper?
Yeah, chat. Who are you most excited about? And we'll talk about them last.
You've been timed out, Brandon. I can still see your messages. Who's timing Brandon now? Which one of our mods is picking on Brandon? Can you guys send me down to the... We got Thomas in the house. Can you guys send me down to the City Ground again, transfer deadline? Thomas, if I get the call from the club, the phone's ready, and you just don't put your PJs on just yet, Thomas. You never know. Maybe Sangare's mate Fofana. Oh my God, if we could get Fofana,
yeah.
So yeah.
Steady on.
And if there's anyone who speaks another language that isn't English, let us know in the chat so we have you on reference, just in case the club calls us again.
Any Italian speaking,
just talking crap count as another language.
Well, you're fluent. So yeah.
Oh, I did that. Oh, he teed you up for that one. Okay.
I backfield it in.
The chat are all saying Reyna. Will with a $5. Will, love you, Will. Keep squabbling. We love it. He loves the squabbling. Okay. So
Will.
Let's start with Reyna. But remember, I need 100 of you to download that SofaScore app, the best football app in the world. Because shout out to SofaScore. They've put some stats together for us. The chat want Reyna. I'm going to bring some stats up. I know Ant's holding his head, but I just want to show you guys some stats. I can't do Reyna because I downloaded the bloody goalkeeper twice like an idiot. So
can I just do a big shout out to Ez for his call for likes, because we've got up to 250 now, and that's pretty good going. So keep going,
guys.
Oh, shout out to the chat.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, all right, absolutely. So I've got the Reyna stats. So I'm going to run you through very quickly. We'll bring it up on screen, and then I'm going to turn to Crypto because he's the most excited by it. These are Gio Reyna's stats. And again, shout out to SofaScore. Look how beautifully they've put this together for us. For the 23-24 season, they've given him an overall rating of 6.84. He's played 14 matches, only started 2, averaging 26 minutes per game, 0.86 on his key passes, only created 1 big chance, and shots per game, he's averaging just over, well, what would you say, 1 shot every 2 games, technically.
Yeah.
And he's had 1 big chance miss. You like my maths there? And in terms of duels won, he wins 2.14 per 90, which is about 50% of the duels he wins. So for that alone, guys, make sure you downloaded SofaScore. Crypto, honestly and objectively speaking, when you look at his stats on paper this season, he hasn't been great. But I'm very excited by him. What's got you kind of so excited that you got your lazy ass down to the City ground and you got his name on the back of your shirt today?
Well, I mean, I went in for a Worrell shirt, but they'd ran out of W's for wanker. But sorry, that was a really bad joke.
All right. Tumbleweed.
Really bad joke.
I didn't even realise it was a joke.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to say
I knew what I was talking about. What's Simon say? I'm surprised Crypto is not slagging Reyna off. Well, you see, he doesn't need to score goals for me because after looking at the highlight reels of him earlier, I think the main positive for me is one, that he's good running with the ball and keeping the ball, because I think we lose the possession a lot in midfield. And one of the things that will happen now with Sol Mangala is, again, we'll lose it even more because I think he was one of our best ball carriers too. But yeah, pushing the ball forward, he runs at players. He looks the polar opposite of someone like Callum Hudson-Odoi, who runs at players and then stops and turns around. This guy will run at players and try and create a chance. So although he may not be a prolific goal scorer, I think he's going to be really good at creating chances. I think he's going to be a high assist player. But yeah, in that midfield, he's another option.
Sorry to interrupt you. I got some breaking news. So Matz Sels arrived at the City ground. He has passed his medical now. Just needs to complete the paperwork for a £5 million move from Strasbourg. Sorry to interrupt you, Crypto. We got some breaking news there. Shout out to my boy Brandon on Twitter, who's always making sure I'm staying up to date. So that one is very close to being complete. We'll come on. I've got a lot to say about him. We'll come on to him in a second. Sorry, Crypto, you were talking about Gio there.
Yeah, so the only consideration really for Nuno will be where to play him, because he looks more so like a number 10, but obviously you're not going to replace Morgan Gibbs-White. I'd like to see him on the pitch as a starter. He could potentially play him off the bench, but I don't think that's why he's come here. Don't forget it's a 6-month loan, right? So he's not going to want to come here to sit on the bench. I think he's 19 years old. So hopefully he can play kind of, an attacking midfield role, but on one of the different sides. I agree with what you said earlier. He reminds me a bit of Dominguez, that kind of progressive player trying to get the ball forward. But I do think he'll probably become one of the most skillful players in our team in regards to actually being able to keep the ball and hold the ball up the pitch.
Rob, on the thing that's annoyed me about this deal is no option to buy. And there's been mixed reactions in the Forest fan base about this. What's your take on it? Because at the moment it's 6 months straight up and then hug and kiss at the end and send him back to Germany. What's your take on it, mate?
Well, you're picking me because you know what I already said about that. I was either on Twitter or in the comments. I am not bothered.
Only apart from the fact that
I'm not bothered. I'm not bothered. The fact is, we were in competition with Sevilla and we got the player, right? Something made them back off, and we said, okay, we'll take him. We'll take him on those terms. Now, just because we don't have this option to buy doesn't mean that we don't have the option to buy, if you see what I mean. It just means they've put another year on his contract and the price has potentially gone up. But it doesn't mean that we ain't going to end up buying him. There's this weird subtext going on with them taking their old boy Sancho back, and they don't know how that's going to work out for them. He's only on loan. I think Man U would probably like to get rid there with the trouble he's given them on social media with his mental health issues and the rest of it. If that goes well and they offload Sancho back to Dortmund and he's happy there, then they will potentially let Reyna go. But I don't think they want to tie their hands at this stage. And that's probably what made Sevilla pull out of it. But it brings me back to what we said earlier, which is what is the team that we can put out for the last 16 games of this season And he should be starting every game. I think we've been way too one-sided with Elanga this season, and when he got injured, we were no-sided. So the idea of having somebody that can do damage on the other side to give us what we hoped we were getting on the cheap with Hudson-Odoi, but we haven't got. Yeah, I think that he completes that attacking lineup. So, we've got the player, right? And if that's what they had to agree to get him, this is the one that we're excited about. Just imagine if we'd missed out on him, how pissed off we would be now, looking at a sort of a not particularly inspiring keeper and like a very young, unproven striker. So they got the player, right? So I'm very much glass half full on this one rather than glass half empty. And, I think I can understand Dortmund wanted to protect their player. In many ways, that makes me want him more because it shows that they're not just trying to get rid and that they do rate him.
Well, what is going on? The chat seems to be agreeing with a lot of what you're saying.
I know what it is. Before this stream, Rob asked if he could make the gain on his mic about 20% louder than everybody else.
No, you told me to.
Since then, it's a proven statistic. I used to work in radio. There's a reason why people like Capital FM play their music louder than other stations. Just saying.
Okay, I want to get Ez's take on Reyna in just a sec. Let me catch up again. The super chats are flowing through, and I want to make sure we're showing them some love. Chris Brown with the £2. Thank you, buddy. J bid accepted, but N pushed for Sels. True/false. What's J? Who's
that? I tried to decipher that. I couldn't figure it out.
I think N being Nuno pushed for Sels.
Yeah.
Oh, Johnson bid accepted. I don't know. Excuse me, my voice just went fine. I don't know, mate. I know that they've really pushed hard on saying that Nuno likes Sels, which I was speaking to Matt earlier from Forest Focus, and he was saying to me, isn't it a little strange that the club have only said it about him? I do agree. You didn't see Gio Reyna announce saying, by the way, Nuno really likes him as well. So it's a little weird on that one. But on the Johnston bid, as far as I know, Palace didn't want to sell and he didn't want to come. He didn't want to come was the latest I heard on that, buddy. But thank you so much for the £2. And Emily saying, NFFC Twitter saying, Mangala on loan with option to buy, not obligation. Right. As we're live, you guys are going to have to bear with us because normally we have time to verify it while we piece it all together in the video. I'm hearing obligation at the moment. I'll be honest with you, Emily. I've heard about 9 different things today, but the strongest sources are saying obligation. So we'll keep checking. We've got some of the guys working in the background as well. Shout out to them. And we've got you guys in the chat as well. We get through this together. So, Ez, on Reyna, and thank you again, Emily, for the super chat. Ez, on Reyna, what are you saying about this option to buy? I think everyone is in agreement we like him. I'm assuming you like him, Ez.
Absolutely, yeah.
Option or non-option to buy?
I think.
Sorry, Ez, 1 second. It's the official Forest account that's saying the option. Okay.
Well, you don't believe that, do you?
That's what Emily was saying.
Okay, apologies, Emily. Okay, so the Forest account, I've got it here now. We can confirm that Aurel Mangala has completed a loan move to Lyon. The French side have the option to make the deal permanent at the end of the season. Okay, shout out to Emily. She was spot on. So it looks like option to buy, which I think will please Ant more and deny Rob more. Would I be right in that balance?
Yeah.
Let's just hope it's not a situation like the John Joe Shelby loan.
Oh God!
Yeah, well, I bet they injure him and send him back now.
Don't.
You don't want him, Rob. So what's the point in sending him back?
Excuse me.
You'd rather start again.
Let's finish on Reyna, and then we'll do. I'm gonna go and check my messages, do a quick roundup. Ez, thoughts on Reyna, then bounce it over to Ant, then argue for yourselves, and I'll just check some messages. All right, go on, Ez.
Yeah, Reyna deal. I'm as excited as everybody else, but we're just going off clips and reviews from other players. But he is one of those that I agree with Rob. He's got to play because the option that we've got at the moment. Yes, we've been hampered with injuries. Alanga would have played instead of Cho in most of those games, but Hudson-Odoi's had to play. And
Sorry,
Hudson-Odoi,
I'm back. Sorry, sorry.
Go on.
Breaking news. Matz Sels has officially signed with Nottingham Forest.
Loan or perm?
Yay.
Loan or perm? What's the deal?
We've signed him, haven't we? It's a permanent deal, isn't it?
Like, that's the first message I've read. I'll be right back. Carry on with Reyna.
Yeah, so Reyna has got to be an option to pair up. And I like the option of having Alanga one side and Reyna the other, with obviously MG Dub in the middle and the 1 year up front. That, if we can keep those players fit, that's an amazing attacking four. But what we need to do is also have some options, because at the moment you are seeing Callum Hudson-Odoi coming on and not impacting the game, starting games and not impacting the game. He's getting like maybe one return in 6-7 games. It's just not good enough and not for what we need. And like we said, did we say 18 games to go or 16? Yeah, I can't remember. 16 very, very crucial games. Every single one of them is going to be crucial now, especially until we find out what the PSR punishment is that we're potentially going to face. So he's a player that I'm really excited about. I think he can work wonders and he will want to play. I totally agree. He won't be coming here to sit on the bench. So Nuno must like him to an extent, must want him. And I think he's just a better option than Hudson-Odoi. And I, like everybody else, was hoping that he'd be one of the bargains of the season and one of the surprise deals of the season. It hasn't proved to be that way so far, but he's had to come in now where maybe his confidence isn't right. He's certainly not in form, but he's had to play because we haven't had any other options. Now we've got a few options. Let's see what Nuno can get out of these players. And most of all, let's try and keep him fit and on the field, because that's where it's cost us. We've not seen, even under the previous manager, we've not seen our best team out this season of players available all season. So let's hope that happens sooner rather than later. And then we can see if this transfer window is going to be as successful as last season's January transfer window, which ultimately helped us stay up. So we are in a relegation battle. There's no two ways about it. So we need to make sure that this transfer window is doing enough to keep us up. So over to you, Ant.
Well, first of all, somebody said that we needed to finish 10 points above Luton. I don't think that's necessarily the case, actually. I think Everton is a team we need, because I think that Burnley and Sheffield United will go down anyway. And I think Everton are the ones that are in most peril, to be honest, because they're the ones that are facing a points reduction like we are. So keeping above them will hopefully would be enough. Anyway, that's that. Yeah, Reyna, I'm not as excited as I must have woke. I mean, I did have a couple of hours nap before this, and I must have woken up in a grumpy mood because I'm excited to see what he might be capable of, but I'm not majorly excited per se because we just don't know. He's not been brilliant in Germany. He's not been brilliant, but I mean, he was a young kid in massive potential. He looks like he could be brilliant. So I'm excited to see what he can do, but I'm not going to, hang my hat on it, as it were, because in all honesty, we don't really know how he's going to fare in the Premier League. He's very unproven in that respect. And we've had players come in before that we got excited about and haven't quite lived up to it. So I'm hoping that he's going to be the player that you guys are all saying he's going to be. And that's about as much as I can give on that.
Do you know who one of his best friends is?
Yeah, I do. Jude Bellingham.
Erling Haaland.
And Erling, yeah. Well, they all played for Dortmund, didn't they? Young lads, so.
Yeah. And probably Jadon Sancho as well, but yeah.
But being friends with somebody, I could be. I mean, as you all know, I'm great friends with Stan Collymore, but I'm not quite at the same level.
Name dropping again, Ant.
All right, I thought he was going to say Robbie there. Okay, yeah. Just very quick update. So we'll update the ticket as deals break through. Matz Sels is confirmed as a red. From what I'm being told, it's a loan with an option, which we'll talk about in a minute because that doesn't please me too much. Also, breaking news for you guys as well. Forest are not done. Forest is still trying to push another deal through. We will keep you posted as and when it breaks, if it happens at all. And as Will says, you can see from his picture, him and Psycho hang out all the time, don't they, Will? Don't they, Will? Yeah. So those are the updates, right? Can we move on and talk about the keeper? Because guys, I'm not too happy about it. And let me just bring up some stats again from our boys Sofa Score on him. And these stats are damning, if you ask me, guys. So I'll just bring them up and just talk everyone through it. Shout out again, Sofa Score. Please do download the app. You're supporting us completely for free. You get all these stats on the app. And let's start with some of these stats. So his Sofa Score rating is a 6.86, which is 17th in the French League, Ligue 1. Goals conceded, 24, which puts him 9th in the French League. Goals prevented, -4, which puts him pretty much bottom. Saves per game, 2.16. Saves from inside the box per game, just over 1.5, which puts him 14th. These stats are fantastic. I love the ranking in these stats. Passing accuracy, 70%, just slightly over 70%. His long ball accuracy is horrific, but quite high in the stats at 7th at 42%. And he averages 36 touches per game. The damning stat is the one in the top right corner, where his ranking amongst goalkeepers. He is 17th out of 17th in the French league, which puts him plumb last. And kick us off with this one. What are your thoughts on?
Yeah, well, funnily enough, I was watching one of your videos earlier on when you compared him against Turner, and one of the things that Turner far exceeded him at was medium range passing. And I thought that's not good, because I would imagine that medium range is probably the most prevalent sort of range you get as a goalkeeper, medium range. So out to the fullbacks or whatever. And he was way worse than Turner. And that's kind of a little bit scary. I don't know, mate. I mean, we've done it again, haven't we? We keep buying crap goalkeepers. We just keep doing it. We're
not fixing the issue.
We said earlier on that if we'd not spent that money on Vlachodimos and Turner, we could have got Henderson. I know he was injured. I know that, but we're in a state, goalkeeping wise, we're in a right state. And I would have thought with Nuno being a goalkeeper, now I believe this is spin, right? I believe that Forest have seen the reaction to this goalkeeper. They've seen his stats, so they put it out that Nuno wanted him. Nuno's always wanted him. Because, like you said earlier on, we've not said that with any other players. Yeah. But I think that he's so underwhelming that they had to put something out to like reassure us. Oh, don't worry, Nuno likes him. Well, I'm sorry, but Nuno's been pissing about with Turner and Vlachodimos for the last 3 months. You know what I mean? So I've not got a great deal of faith in his goalkeeping assessment, actually. So I don't know. I am worried because I've got this horrible feeling that he's going to come in and it's going to be as bad. I mean, his save percentage is awful. I mean, his kicking is not great.
And can it be any worse? Honestly, and can it be any worse?
Vlachodimos has a 0% save percentage.
Can it be any worse than what we've seen?
Vlachodimos has 0% save percentage. In fact, he has negative save percentage.
Exactly, Rob. I was going to say, when we had Turner, we bought Vlachodimos thinking, well, he must be better, but he's not.
Well, no, we to add to what you're saying, we bought Turner and Vlachodimos. We weren't convinced about either, but we were thinking, well, they can't both be crap, can they? So we won't make that mistake again.
Excuse me, sorry.
I don't know. It's coming from the French league as well, which is not exactly the best league in the world.
It's
not like,
I mean, at least
he's not facing fantastic strikers every week.
Yeah. There is one positive stat though, that the goals he does concede apparently this season have come from 0 mistakes. Now, when I say
my God,
when I say mistakes, I mean things like where Turner's passing the ball to the opposition.
Errors, yeah.
Oh my God, what?
Go on.
Breaking news. You know how we talked about Akpom? Old Forest link?
What's another Old Forest?
It feels like there's a reunion going on. Anyone remember Rafa Mir?
Oh, no.
He's a lot better than he was when we had him.
Breaking news. Forest link.
What league is he in at the moment? Sorry, don't remind me. What league is he in at the moment?
He's at Sevilla, I believe. Let me double check.
Yeah, they're struggling against relegation, aren't they?
He's at Sevilla, who are fighting relegation.
Let's check on Sofa Score.
I'll check it out on SofaScore. So breaking news. Oh my God, look at the chat now. It's all right now. He's all right. Oh God. Mia got better.
He did, to be fair.
Yeah, but
He's good on FIFA, that's all I'm saying. That's all I know. He's decent on FIFA.
So Wolfie, can you, and I'm serious here, can you bring up or at least check out and reveal to us his stats for this season, please? Perhaps using SofaScore might be a good idea.
SofaScore would be the good idea. All right, let's bring him up on SofaScore. Bloody hell, guys! What? It just feels like reunion left, right, and center. Just by the way, West Ham drew 1-1 with Boring Mouth. Wolves have pulled one back against Manchester United as well. It's 2-1 there. So while I'm doing this, guys, please take a moment if you haven't already to download SofaScore ! Score. I'm sure Mark will put it in the chat for you. And also, if you click on the link at the top, that will take you straight there. So let's have a look at his stats, guys.
Let's have a look.
He was called Rafa, wasn't he? It was Rafa, if I remember right.
The pentagram doesn't look great.
Yeah, so he's played 15 games this season for them. Started 3 of them. Scored 2 goals. XG is 1.43. He's look at his heat map, boys. It's all over the place, man.
It's scatter map.
Like Chris Wood's heat map.
It's like Chris Wood, yeah.
Assists wise, nothing. Is XG on his assists. XA, sorry, is 0.09. Touch is 9.8. Who should we compare him to?
Maybe Andre Ayew, another person who scored 0 goals.
Have you read
him against Taiwo?
Have you read the
I've
strength
got a
and
question,
weaknesses bit?
actually. I've got a question. You know the goalkeeper? Who's his agent? And who's Rafa Mir's agent?
I don't know. Do you know what? Stats-wise against Taiwo, he does match up. Although Taiwo, which one's Taiwo? Taiwo's the blue one.
Get him in.
Taiwo defensively is a bit weaker. The rest of them aren't that far apart. So kind of as what you're saying there, he has got better.
Yeah.
He has got better. Would you take him?
You know, we need a backup. We need a backup for Wood and Taiwo, obviously. But we bought that young lad in, haven't we? I don't know if he's supposed to be backup or he's just one for the future. Obviously, it depends what the deal is. It depends what the deal is. That's all I can say on that one, really.
Yeah, last year he played 26 games, started 16, scored 6 goals. I didn't like him at Forest, guys.
Yeah.
I don't understand why we're going after people who didn't score a single goal in their career at Forest.
I can tell you.
Go on.
Because his agent is Jorge Mendes. That's why, my friend.
Is that his agent?
Is that verified?
Yep. It just occurred to me, why would we go for him?
Yeah.
Hang on, who's his agent?
Yeah. Should we just see who all of his players are and then just figure out who Forest are going for next from there?
Who we want.
Yeah.
Who we want.
So if all these players are crap, are we just blaming Jorge Mendes?
I mean, he did wonders for
his
Wolves.
agent is.
There's no doubt about what he did for Wolves when he got involved in their setup. In the Championship, they just absolutely blitzed it, and they were successful coming up. They weren't in any relegation difficulty for the first few seasons, and that's down to obviously the players that he brought in and the structure that he helped set up. Because I think that even the owners are Portuguese at Wolves, aren't they? So I think it was a real like holistic approach for that. But here, I think he's just here for the money. I'd like to prove him wrong, but he has got some history with Marinakis, and if I was him, I wouldn't want to get on the wrong side of Mr. M. So you'd probably tread carefully. I don't think he's here to sabotage us. I think he is genuinely trying to bring decent players in, but it does look a lot like we're going for what he can't move to other clubs. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, has-beens in the sense, or never going to make it, which is what Rafa Mir might be.
Yeah.
Never going to be. Whatever.
Or as NFFC says, Harry Arter's cousin.
Yeah.
Rob, if you had to choose between Mir and Akpom,
What do you think I'm going to say?
Okay.
I would go for the guy that scored 28 goals in the championship last season.
you love your championship.
Championship.
Yeah.
I don't know why you're like Zorroing over the championship. It's a different level.
Oh,
I've
right,
never been
well,
impressed with him, to be honest.
honestly, Mir played for us in the COVID season, right? Because that must be why I can't even remember him. I literally cannot remember the guy. He did nothing for us, and that was far more recently. You know, you're judging Akpom based on 9 years ago, and this was what, 4 years ago. So
Yeah, you're right. 1920, 11 games, nil points.
1920.
1920. That's when Ant was
Oh,
born.
he's old, isn't he?
19
It's literally when my dad
20.
was born.
Yeah, we took him on loan from Wolves. I don't know, man. This is kind of yeah. DC.
I remember
it's
Rafa
all
Mir
you know,
just
though.
missing really easy chances. That's what my abiding memory of him. And he may, excuse me, he may well have improved, but I've not heard a great deal about him since. You know, it's not like in my conscience.
To be honest, though, who are you going to convince to come to the club and say you're a third striker, sit on the bench in case someone gets injured? Because not many good strikers, no good strikers are going to accept that, are they? Realistically,
No, you're right.
maybe on
But
loan.
I don't want a third striker.
maybe, yeah, but we've got the Ribeiro guy on loan. That's what I mean. We've already got 3 strikers. I mean, we have actually got Hwang on the book as well. We could bring back Hwang if the going got tough.
Well, he could be booked.
But don't we
soon,
have to
allegedly.
declare a 25-man squad at the end of this? So it's not a case that you can just pull him out of nowhere. You know, you've got to decide who's in the squad. And I'm just a little bit uncomfortable with having 2 strikers in the 25-man squad.
Well, let's hope if Marinakis is watching that he puts George Shelby in the squad ahead of Turner.
You know, if you go down the Premier League
Anyway, he's under 21, isn't he? So he's in anyway.
If you go down the Premier League teams from 1 to 20, I think you'd struggle to find a decent third striker.
Hold on, sorry guys.
Don't have third
Sorry
strikers. Don't have
to
third
interrupt.
Interrupt away.
Interrupt,
I
mate.
don't know how true this is. I'm getting sent a message. Brandon Aguilera may go on loan to Bristol Rovers in League One. Forest's idea is for him to have minutes and then jump back into the Premier League like Harry Kane, Dele Alli, and Calvert-Lewin did.
He definitely needs minutes. That's for
Nothing
sure.
wrong with that. Nothing wrong
League
with
I
One.
don't
that.
have a problem with that.
League
I don't have a
One.
problem with that.
Well,
Yeah,
you
I prefer
got it there,
Championship,
then.
obviously, but
I mean, if Reyna's coming in, Aguilera's not going to start, is he? We don't need 3 number 10s.
I mean,
That's a good
Jono
point.
went
I was
down
thinking
to
who's our
League One,
backup?
didn't he?
Yeah, nothing wrong with League One for players to try and improve.
Good question. What happened to Origi? Good question. Do we know what's happening with Origi? Are we basically?
I'm pretty sure it got terminated because if it didn't, then we've got about 900 too many loans. So Origi,
surely he's been sent back.
yeah,
Well,
he's
maybe
gonna go
they're
to
leaving
LA.
it until they see what happens tonight, because maybe they'll.
Yeah.
Because I remember Nuno saying about 2 weeks ago, you know, are you going to? Someone in the press conference asked him, "Are you going to? You expecting these people to go?" And he said, "Right now, anybody I've got is valuable because there's so many people injured." He was pretty much said it like that. So you may find Nuno actually fighting to keep Origi if they don't bring a striker in. So I think that if we've not heard anything, it's probably for that reason. And also it gives us a bit more leverage because, you don't want other clubs pulling our pants down over strikers. If we say, well, we've still got Origi to fall back on. Whereas if we've sent him back and they know that, then they can drive a harder bargain. So I think they're probably... Sorry?
He's officially still there on the playlist on the...
Not... It'd be
website.
interesting actually to look at the loanees and which ones do we know have actually terminated, because I've not really heard anything yet. Anybody? Not even
Santo's gone.
Tavares.
Santo's gone for sure. Nuno
No, great
Tavares,
loss.
we're not getting rid of. We're digging our heels in. Origi, last I heard, he's going to LA. That's not been confirmed, but that's what I've heard. I got some more news. It's minor news, but it's Forest related. It's kind of good news. We've got rid of a keeper. Ethan Horvath has been confirmed as a move to Crystal Palace, Cardiff City. As we confirmed to you guys in the video some point today. There's been so many, I can't remember where it was. That's confirmed. That's been officially announced by the club as well.
Permanent. Is that a permanent deal?
I think it's a loan deal, believe it or not. It's a loan deal. And it's kind of something I want to start talking about, Ez. We have no value in our players that we're getting rid of. It touches on what Ant says earlier. You know, we need to get rid of, if we're going to get rid of some of the deadwood, get some money. But there's too many loan deals for me exiting, which again is just kicking the issue down the road for me.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's taken them obviously to a percentage at least off our wage bill, which is helpful. But the long term, if you look at how
it's permanent. Sorry, apologies.
Thank God for that. And that's the kind of thing we need to start. Even if we're gonna not get the deals that we want to get, I think we just need to. We're so bloated. We're so bloated as a squad. We need to shed some pounds on that, mate. And even if it means losing players for slightly less than their value on some of them, because they're not getting a chance with us, and there's not many other clubs in for these players, and we've kind of got to do it because it's a fire sale, if you want to call it that. We need to do it. We've got far too many players in that squad.
And
I agree. I mean, give them away.
No,
get them off the wages. Not just get them off the wages, but create the environment that Nuno wants, which is obviously a smaller squad. So just give them, if you have to give them away. I don't.
Are you being sarcastic?
A couple of million here and there's not going to make much difference, is it?
Are you being sarcastic or serious? I can't quite read
you. 100% serious. 100% serious.
Who would you be putting in that?
Give them away. Hennessy, give them away. We're not going to get money for them. Lacademus, give them away. I don't care. I want them out of the club.
Fair enough.
That's why Ant's not an accountant.
I'm a football fan.
Yeah, but okay, Crypto, what would you do then? Because he is right. It's completely bloated, the squad. And we're piling them on now. We're looking at 3 or 4 already.
Well, like we're doing, it can't be that hard, surely, to loan people. Because don't forget, if you did want to, in theory, give them away, you could always suggest paying the majority of their wages. So get them out of the club, loan them away. People like Chet Coyote, Alex Myton, get rid of them. Send them on loan somewhere. If people don't want to pay for them, then pay their wages and send them on loan. Give them to Sheffield United. They take the scraps of Forest every season. So give them to them. They can't afford any new players. You don't have to give them away literally in the sense that you lose millions of pounds, but you can send them out on loans and cover their wages if you really have to. But there are players who we can get out of the club. We don't need this many people in the squad, especially the ones that aren't good enough. As Em said, people like Worrell, just get them out of the city.
Yeah, and Myton did go earlier on loan. But Crypto, on that point, because Em is asking any word on Worrell. So the update on Worrell was, how can I word this politely? He was second choice for Sheffield behind, what's the Everton guy called? Holgate.
Mason Holgate.
Yeah.
Okay, no.
That looks like that's gone ahead. Basically, Sheffield wanted Worrell on a loan. Forest want to sell Worrell. Forest is sticking their heels in on this. Worrell goes for money, and that's not happened. So there's also been talks of Leeds being interested in him, and there was one other club, Fenerbahce, I think it was. And at the moment, Worrell is staying. So I know that disappoints some. I know that pleases some. Crypto, where do you sit on the pleased disappointed?
Well, those who know me will know that I don't. Yeah, Worrell's come to live with me, James. That's right. I know. I mean, Worrell is not at the level of defenders that we need. We've got plenty of defenders now, especially with Omar Bamadeli making his way into the squad. Don't forget, we've also got Felipe back at full fitness. I mean, I've seen some people say, "Is it worth getting rid of Felipe?" Not any disrespect to his character, purely just because he's one of the older defenders, and we do have quite a few now. But yeah, Worrell, again, you could get rid of Worrell on loan. The thing with Worrell is he's pretty homegrown, isn't he? So it would be pure profit if you were to sell him on at this time. So selling him would be more beneficial. But if people don't want him, which is obviously makes complete sense to me. If they're asking for 8 million, a League 2 team's not going to pay 8 million for him, and that's his level.
So just to add on to that, shout out to Matt, our mate Matt. He's saying Joe Worrell looks like he won't be signing for Sheffield. With talks emerging that the deal has fallen through late into the evening, Everton, Sheffield, and Leeds couldn't achieve any deals with the Forest captain so far. So it looks like he's staying. Rob, what are your thoughts on Worrell and Worrell staying?
Well,
Wait, hold on. Are you serious? Sorry, this is more important. If Man U have screwed up a lead again, someone check SofaScore for me, please. Sorry, I want to know this. I got it. It's 3-2. What are you talking about?
3-2 on the BBC.
3-2, yeah.
Tony, why are you getting me all excited, Tony? Miss Man U's third. Oh, bloody hell. Tony, man, that is evil. That's evil, Tony. That's evil. You got me excited there. Sorry, I interrupted you. Right. Tony interrupted you, should I say?
Well, Ivan Tony. Look, we have no use for Worrell now except to sell him for pure profit. So we do need to sell him. He's not one of these. He's not one of these people that we've got to get off the giveaway because his wages are low. But if we get any money for him, it goes straight to the bottom line as profit. So he has to be sold rather than given away. But we absolutely don't need him. I mean, I've been really impressed with Bamidele, and then we've got Niakate coming back. Even if Murillo was to go to Man City or whatever, I would be confident in a long-term pairing of Niakate and Bamidele. I haven't even seen them play together. I just think that they're both the required quality. So, I mean, potentially we might be a bit stretched because obviously with McKenna going to Copenhagen and
Bolly as well.
Up at the end of the season. Bolly's here to the end of the season, isn't he?
Yeah, his contract.
Yeah.
Up the end of the year. Yeah.
I mean, we could always give him another year, right? But I mean, we've got depth there, and we don't need Worrell. We need to sell Worrell. I'm disappointed that the Leeds thing hasn't come through because I thought they were quite interested at one point. What did they need to sell someone to buy him, or what was the problem there?
Well, Forest cut the price from 10 to 6, and still no one was that interested. I think he can do a job. Do you know what I mean? Leeds would be perfect for him.
The Championship, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? In my mind, I know that we realise that Joe's not Premier League standard, but I'm staggered that nobody's coming from him from the Championship at that price. Now, whether he's told his agent, I'm not interested in Championship, we don't see. There's all these things that we don't know. He might have told his agent, no, I don't want to go Championship, unless it's like Leicester who are bound to come up or something like that. So we don't know, but I'm amazed because he's a decent Championship centre back. There's no two ways about that, and it's certainly worth 8 to 10 million. I would suggest in today's market, in
today's money. Yeah,
but, it's. Okay. I'm surprised. So maybe it's down to him. Maybe he's the one that's saying no.
We got some more news coming through from our boy Thomas, our French-speaking Thomas. I'm gonna break that in just a second. Let's just catch up some of these super chats. Chris with another £2. Thank you so much, Chris. You're way too generous. 0 mistakes leading to goals. I'll take that in reference to our new keeper. Thank you so much for the £2. My good mate Nick and Logan, make sure you subscribe to my best mate Logan's channel. Nick saying, I'd rather take the kit man in goal. Thank you so much for the 9 months.
And it's in the frame.
Sharpie with the 199. Forest are using Timu, yeah, Esno's all about that one. Yeah,
my wife does. Fuck me.
Yeah, this transfer window. Thank you so much for the 199. I still think that app looks dodgy. It comes up as ads on freaking Candy Crush for me all the time.
The stuff's legit, to be fair, mate. She's bought everything. It's been legit.
You can get this drone for completely free. That's what they are. And then a legend that is Nick with the 499. Worst window ever. Worst keeper in the French league. Young player that won't even play and an injury-prone player for 4 months. Nick, thank you for depressing the whole chat with
summarizing it.
I'm more down with that than you, happy clappers. I can tell you.
But I'm saying he's got some valid points in there, 100%. And thank you again, Nick, and shout out to Logan as well. I love you, Logan. You absolute legend. And then you got Matthew saying, do we know what the McKenna deal was if we got anything? Not a clue. We know it's a loan and his contract's about to run out. I think the benefit for Forest was taking his wages off the books. So that was it.
Bit of inside info here. I actually saw a delivery of a packet of shortbread earlier on today. So I think that was the payment.
Right.
That's harsh. That is. That's harsh. You know.
Okay.
If one was worth 6 million, then McKenna's worth at least 10.
At least a bottle of whiskey.
Actually, I was thinking he'd gone to Scotland. Has he gone to Turkey? Where's he gone?
Go to Denmark.
They've gone to Denmark.
Oh, Copenhagen.
All
Right, then it was a box of porno films then.
Yes, Matthew. How are you, you legend, Matt? You keep those updates going. Everyone go and follow Matt on Twitter because he's better than us on it. Matt, put your handler in the chat and I'm sure they will all do it. Okay, so let me just give you this update. This is a rumor coming in from our boy Tom. Chris Wood. Apparently, I can't source this. Obviously, we're online, so I can't source this. So, rumor is Wood has a more serious injury than initially thought, and that's why Forest are trying for Akpom. That I don't know if it's true or not, but logic makes sense off the back of that. That's why we're suddenly seeing this panic into.
But he didn't come off injured though, did he? He didn't come off injured.
No, he did. He came off at half time.
Yeah, he did. He came off at half time.
He said he was fatigued, didn't he?
No, he just said he was fatigued. Didn't say he was injured.
No, he said he was stiff. No pun.
Stiff? Wood? What? Eh?
He's played every minute of every game.
Why would I say that live with our chat? What am I thinking?
He'd been watching Ez's membership stream about Zorro.
Oh, really, man. But it wasn't.
Know how true it is.
I've not heard any injury. I've not heard any injury talk around Wood. He came off because he had to come off. He was knackered.
Honestly, you bunch of flip flops. If that news had come through 3 weeks ago, you'd have all been doing handstands.
I'm not complaining, Anne. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying that's what Thomas is saying. Yeah, there we go. Steve's on it off the bat. That's what Nuno said. He said he'd stiffened up a little bit. So he said, come on. Oh, what am I doing? They're straight on it. This chat is ridiculous, man. Yeah, Viagra comes in.
Well, let's put it this way. Is anybody on here that would rather see Agpong in the first team than Chris Wood? No. Just you.
Not on this season's form, no.
No, maybe, I know. Yeah.
I'm still not sold on Wood. I'm still not sold on
Wood.
You.
Good for you.
Good for you.
Anne, shut up. I remember last season when Lingard scored 2 goals against Blackburn, one which double deflected from a free kick. And you were like, mate, maybe he might come good now.
And listen, we all live in hope, don't we? We all live in hope.
We all live in hope.
We'll want our players to do well. So give us a little bit, and we'll go overboard. Of course, we will.
I'm just saying, right, that I just see him as.
You would start doing that shit again, mate.
Oh my god, do you remember that stuff?
Yeah, I know.
I feel this.
Yeah.
Oh, what was I
bring it back?
Longwood. Wood, don't be. Tom, check out what you just sent me and see if you can verify it because I got like 700 screens going on here. It's hard to keep going. And yeah, shout out to our ex-player who's had the upgrade to South Korea. He's gone to South Korea. Right, let's get some sense on here. Not essence, but Levy sense. Levy, how are you, bud?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, been trying to keep the peace between these lot, mate. It's not been that successful.
Yeah, no.
Okay, I think. Oh, did we finish talking about the goalkeeper? I can't remember. There's so much stuff breaking left, right, and centre.
There's a story saying that we bid 15 million for Kelleher, and he is a good goalkeeper.
Yeah, that was earlier in the day.
Yeah. It's only just come up on the whatever.
On the what?
I'd have liked him. I'd have had him.
Yeah. Just a quick shout out. There's over 800 of you in here. Thank you guys so much for chilling. If you're not subscribed, please do. It's completely free. We're going to take you through to the transfer window and beyond if we need to. As this is Forest, things will happen late in this window. So please do subscribe if you're new here. Get those likes up if you haven't already. How are we doing on the like count? Let's have a quick look. We are on 320 likes. So nearly 500 of you haven't hit that like button. Please hit that like button if you haven't already. Are you guys serious? Let me check Sofa's score. It is 3-3. Shout out to Wolves.
Woo!
Oh, it's
gives
funny.
us something
Oh,
to
I
watch
love it.
later on.
Oh, I love it. Oh,
You know what?
Twisted
You know what,
Game's so
Wolfie? I was
vexed.
dreading it because I saw Rashford had scored, Hoyland had scored. I was thinking, oh, they're going to be all jizzing all over him, saying that they're world class again. You know.
Neto. I tell you what, Neto is one of the most underrated players.
Oh, he's not
poor
underrated, mate.
Twist.
He's fantastic. He
He
is
is quality.
magnificent. He's not underrated. He's rated, mate.
No,
95th minute.
I know he's rated. I'm saying he's
I
not
can't
rated
wait
high
to
enough.
watch it.
Oh, loving it. And big shout out to M1234 who took our advice and subscribed. Thank you so much. VAR checking. Well, it's screwed then, isn't it? VAR checking.
No. Because they were
VAR
3-1 up
checking.
until the 85th minute.
Guys, is it confirmed? You know what? It's in the 96th minute. That is justice for the cheating they did to them at Old Trafford with the penalty.
Yeah.
With the penalty.
Too right.
So M1234 with the 199 thoughts on Reyna. Thank you so much for the donation. As we've just had our most sensible correspondent join us. And I think we just had a super sticker as well from Warren, the £2. Thank you so much.
I've been in here ages. What are you on about?
Huh?
I've been here ages. What are you on about? Most sensible just joined us.
Up. Let me give M123 your thoughts on Reyna. I'm interested to see what you're thinking of the young, as they call him, the American Dream, christened by Haaland with that name.
I like it. I think the amount of differences that have come out from the details of the actual deal over the kind of leading up to it, and then also sugar. I feel like it's now 4-3 to United as I'm talking. I'm afraid.
Oh, no.
Are you joking?
No,
it is as well. Oh my God! How can they be so fluky?
Football.
Mainu's got it.
97th minute. I'm sick now.
How much injury time is there?
Only 6
9
minutes
minutes.
injury time, wasn't there?
Still enough time to make it 5-5. They've got 3 minutes left. But yeah, back on the Reyna deal, I like it. I would like to have had an option to buy, but I feel like they would have then either been pushing to have no option at all or an obligation to buy. And we know what happens when Forest get given an obligation to buy in January transfer windows. We get royally screwed over by them. So I'm happy with it. If things go well with him, I feel like we're then going to have more negotiation power at the table to then try and force him, hopefully, into making more of a permanent signing of it. But he's got the perfect chance now, especially playing out on the wings and having Hudson-Odoi not really firing on all cylinders since he's come back into the league. I think it's a perfect opportunity for him to show that he can do it outside of the Bundesliga and really put a stamp on his name. And that is just going to help boost his confidence and his standing personally. So it's all down to him now to really make a name for himself outside of Dortmund. And I think then, we've got a real good chance of showing what he's got.
Where do you think his best position is, Lemmy? Because a lot of the Americans that watch the channel, shout out to all of them, and there's been an influx of them lately, are saying he's a 10. They're saying he's wasted out on the wing. It almost feels the vibes they're talking about him are a bit like we were talking about Morgan Gibbs-White. Stop playing him wide, Cooper. Nuno comes in, he plays him back in the middle. Are we at risk with that? But at Dortmund, he is predominantly playing as a wider player, almost an inside forward, if you like. Well, what would you do with him?
I think he probably is more suited to playing centrally. He doesn't seem to have kind of like that pace that Elanga's got and Jono had. I'd even say probably when Hudson-Odoi does get past the defender, he tends to break past him and he's then into open space. I don't see that from Reyna. But I don't see he doesn't seem to have kind of like the skills, tricks, or kind of footballing IQ that MGW's got, which is kind of what I want from a central creative position. I'd want someone that can get the ball and have absolutely nothing on, and then all of a sudden is immediately created 3 chances by just doing something completely out of the blue. I don't see that out of Reyna, but he does seem to have a knack of picking out players when he's inside the box. So hopefully he's just going to be someone that we can have on the wing to then just receive the ball, kind of advance it into the box and just make the simple pass. He seems to do that really well from what I've seen. He picks out players really well. He's also got a pretty decent shot on him from long range. So if he can take those out from Morgan Gibbs White and stop him from forcing shots, then yeah, maybe there's something there.
Ez, I'm gonna go all conspiracy, and someone in the chat told my brother to shut up. It's not for all. Reyna wants eventually to play in a 10. Do you think if things go well this season, it's conspiracy now. I'm just spitballing.
I know where you're going.
You know where I'm going, yeah? Morgan Gibbs White to be sold, Reyna to be the replacement. Chat, what would you say to that?
I think the uproar from the fan base would absolutely take that option off the table for me. I don't think anybody would be looking for that as a replacement. Nobody wants MG Dub going. I think there's some of us who've got understand that at some point he may have to go, and we may not be able to hold on to him. But you're gonna have to have a suitable replacement, and that's not a suitable replacement for me. And that shouldn't be the thinking. And I hope that's not the thinking. And if that is the thinking, then he better hit the ground running and give us. If he impresses for the rest of the season, then it might change people's perceptions and people's minds. But one, he'd have to play in that position. Two, he'd have to be good enough to be able to, for us to be able to live without MG Dub, you know. And for that to happen, like I say, he's going to have to have a miraculous end to the season with us for that to happen. I hope that's not in their thinking, and I don't think that any Forest fan would accept that, to be honest. So no, unless you want an uproar.
We do need cover for Gibbs White, though, as we've just seen. So
yeah, cover, not a replacement.
Cover and competition. I'm pretty sure we were all saying at the end of the summer transfer window that the cam spot was the only position that we had no competition in, and that's why Morgan Gibbs White felt like he had complete free reign and he was never under threat. So maybe bringing in someone who can play on the wing but who's more suited as a cam just might give Morgan Gibbs White, since Nuno's come in, he's been playing significantly better, but maybe this is just that extra boost that he needs just to say, no, I am the best one here. I want to be the future team captain going forwards. Hopefully that's then just going to be an extra motivation that he needs.
The M1234, and I'm sure there's a slight bias there, saying he's more natural talent than Gibbs White. Rob, I want to ask you, as the acting accountant of Forest right now, you know, because you like to sell the players, would you be tempted by that? If someone came in with 80 to 90 million for Morgan Gibbs White, there's talks of Newcastle and Spurs, would you consider it?
No. I want both of them.
Sell the players thing.
Well, no, I said I'm happy to sell our 9th or 10th best player in order to keep the top 5. I don't look. Was Mangala part of the core of the team? No. Is Gibbs White part of the core of the team? Yes.
Player?
He wasn't the 9th or 10th best player, was he?
Well,
no,
okay.
I don't think he was that far down.
You have to identify what is the core of the team. It's Awoniyi and Gibbs White with Elanga. It's not Mangala.
But you can't just base it on that. You need some defense as well. You need a midfield. You need a solid midfield. Otherwise, you'll get ranked out.
Okay. So let me give you top 5 in my opinion, right? Not in any order. Awoniyi, MG Dub, Elanga, Danilo, and Sangare. Is Mangala higher up that rank than any one of those 5?
Yeah, I'd say it's better than Danilo.
Right, bump Murillo up into that top 5.
Yeah, you're missing out Murillo there.
Yeah, you can put Murillo up there. But I'm saying is Mangala higher than any of those?
I think Mangala is more consistent.
He's behind Diakate. He's behind quite a few other people. In fact.
No, wait a minute. You're talking silly again, Rob.
Can't compare cross position.
You're talking silly because you're saying that Taiwo is a better player than Mangala. I'm telling you now,
we're saying
Mangala is a better defensive midfielder than Taiwo.
Importance to the team and most
the CDM has massive importance to the team.
So you can't just say he's not one of our top 5 players. He's the top in the top 5 central defensive midfielders. That's for sure.
Let me just before you carry on, chat. Put a number in the chat of your ranking of Mangala. Yeah, if you think he's the 3rd most important, put 3 in. If you think he's the first one, yeah, just to give us an idea while these lots start. I can't believe I'm about
the
to let
squad
them...
or of midfielders. This is the I said of the
You
squad.
can't compare him to a striker. It's not fair.
I said of the squad.
We're talking squad.
Yeah,
We're talking squad. Yeah.
Yeah, we're talking squad. We're not talking like for like
Yeah,
players.
but it's senseless because if we hang on a sec, let me just put this to you, right? If we had all League One players in our midfield, it's no good you saying, well, he's not one of the top 5. Of course, he's not one of the top 5, but he is a central defensive midfielder.
Yeah,
you can't compare him with a striker.
It's like comparing Mbappe to Van Dijk. There's no comparison.
Exactly.
That's not what we're saying. No, you guys are muddying the waters now. You're muddying the waters now. That's not what we're saying. Right. We're saying the important place for the team because. And you said we can't live. We shouldn't be selling one of our top players. I don't think he's one of our top players.
So that's a difference of opinion. That's all,
exactly.
Mate.
But that's what I'm trying to extract. What do you class as the top players? Because for me, in our fully say we have a 3-man midfield. 3-man midfield. For me, it's at the moment, and I think this is what Nuno's going with anyway. It's Sangare, Dominguez, and Danilo, not Mangala.
No,
where does Mangala fit into that 3? So if he's not even ahead of those 3,
right in there as well.
No Dominguez in there.
Yeah, I'm just talking about those 3. I'm talking about the 3 in midfield there.
Yeah, but you're saying so therefore we don't need Dominguez.
No,
we don't need Dominguez then.
Is that
MGW?
I said Dominguez. I said Dominguez, Danilo, and Sangare is, I think, Nuno's best 3.
So then you're
injured.
So he's a backup player, but I'm saying he's not.
Yeah, I know, but you need quality. You need quality, mate. You need quality.
But I'm saying he's not one of our top players.
He's not the same as Dominguez and Danilo. He's a different type of player. He's a defender.
Right. Okay. Let me rephrase the question. Let me change
it. Not in your midfield, then.
Say again.
Is MGW not in your midfield?
No, I'm talking about the 3-man behind MGW. I'm talking about those 3. Nuno plays 3, doesn't he? Nuno plays 3, doesn't he?
He plays 2.
2 and and Dominguez is pretty much part of that. Dominguez is pretty much part of that at the moment, isn't he? Because we haven't had any options on the right or left other than Callum Hudson-Odoi. So Mangala's not even ahead of Dominguez and Sangare as the ideal 2, is he? He's a backup player. That's what I'm saying. He's a backup player at the moment. Exactly. And he's not happy being a backup player.
I don't think in the modern game you have backup players in the same way as you used to. Because players get injured, players get suspended. Yeah. You've got to have a squad.
Yes, but who's hanging around?
As well? We're in the FA Cup as well as the league.
Where he is at his level, in his career at the moment, Mangala doesn't want to be that backup player. It's clear.
We've said that though. We're talking different. We've said that.
Yeah, so that's part of the reason where he's got to be one of the assets that you move on. No, we don't want to sell our top players, but if there's mitigating circumstances, he's got to be one of the ones.
Why not move on Yates? Why not move on Czech Kouyaté? Why move on?
Did anybody offer us 30 million for Kouyaté?
No,
who's the money again?
People buy Yates. Why do you need 30 million?
Because if you wanted to get that amount of money that we've got for Mangala, you'd have to sell Yates and Kouyaté, as well as probably a centre-back, a full-back, possibly even one of our...
I can name all of them. Yates, Kouyaté, Aurier, Worrell, McKenna.
Yeah, then we're going to have 4 goalkeepers on the bench.
Ship Lacademos off, give Turner away for free to West Bridgford FC.
So we've then got 4 goalkeepers on the bench and a bunch of kids.
I'm with you, Ben.
Especially being in the trouble that we've got currently with finances, to be able to take on a player of Oro Mangala, who we bought for 13 million, and then sell him off on a loan for 10 million. He's going to be coming back to us, and we've got 10 million, and he's missing out half a season. If he then sticks around and stays there, we've then got 30 million. You'd be realistically looking at having to sell off some of our top end players in other positions to be able to cover that amount of money, and we're already in financial problems. We can't be.
Were you listening earlier? Because that is exactly what I said an hour ago.
Yeah, but Lemmy's wrong as well. But Lemmy's wrong as well.
I'm not.
You're both wrong.
I'm putting my foot down.
I'm sorry, Lemmy. No, let's not fall out, mate. But you're wrong. Let's not fall out.
If you want to,
if he's wrong, tell him why he's wrong.
Because I don't want to be in the fucking championship. That's why. It's very simple.
Defensive midfielder is going to be the reason we get relegated.
Sell your best players, you go down.
A central defensive
midfielder. He's not one of our best players. That's my point. He's not one of our best players.
He is. If we get ran over in midfield,
he's not. He's not.
You're
Simple
talking
as.
stupid, honestly.
No,
he's
you're
a fantastic
No,
international
you're
footballer.
delusional. You're
He is
delusional.
brilliant.
He's not one of our best players.
Very
Stop saying that. Hang on,
consistent.
my battery's back.
He never loses the ball. He controls that midfield. He's a superb football player. And you're saying he's not one of our better players? He's been our best midfielder this season.
I agree with you. Best midfielder. Why is Nuno not started him in the majority of the games?
I don't know. It's like I've said. I keep saying people are misunderstanding what I'm saying. I'm saying if the guy wants to go, get rid. If we were in a situation where it was financially critical that we had to let him go, get rid. But don't say it is because we've just wasted a load of money on some crap, right?
Stop saying he's our best, one of our best players. He's not. He's one of our better players, but not one of our best.
Okay, let's put a quick pin.
Wait, we could go back and clip streams where everyone was saying he was one of our best players.
Yeah, you can try and find me. Click that
before Sangare came
find it, guaranteed.
Okay, quick pin. Quick pin. I just want to, I'm getting the handbags off from Emma. I'm taking back control. I'm putting the trousers back on. Shout out to our boy Matt. He sent me a little article here that I just want to read out on Akpom and exactly what happened in this deal. So listen up, boys. Listen up, because I'm going to ask you for your reaction in chat. Listen up. Make sure you've hit that like button and subscribe if you're new. In the final hours of the deadline day, Nottingham Forest suddenly gave full throttle to Akpom. That sounds weird. As a sentence. Anyway, the English made a proposal whereby the striker was rented. It says, I assume he's loaned. This is translated from Dutch, by the way. And could
he's a rent boy now, is he? He's a rent boy.
Fuck me. I mean, don't. But...
and they were looking for a perm deal for 15 to 16 million euros. Ajax did not agree to this, and the Amsterdam team made a counter offer with Akpom having for 17 million plus an obligation to buy. The deal then collapsed. An important reason for Ajax to pull the plug on this was the condition from Forest regarding the purchase option. Forest only wanted to buy Akpom if they stayed in the Premier League. Ajax thought this was too risky as Forest to 16th. Great. Ajax think we're going down, lads. Ajax think we're going down.
That's because we sold Mangala.
It says,
might be going down the way they're going.
Akpom himself currently appears to be the biggest loser out of this failed deal. He would have liked to have made the switch to the Premier League. The super sub would rather not be Brian Broby stand-in, and in the second half of the season, Ajax therefore did not give the green light. Also, because there was no longer any possibility of getting a replacement, Broby would have been their only first-team striker. So, what we were hearing earlier seems to be being confirmed by this badly translated Dutch article. Any thoughts on that? That's dead in the water, isn't it, guys?
If he says he doesn't want to be a stand-in, what's he expecting at Forest? He's not going to come over and start ahead of Wani. I mean, I don't know what he expects. He's already played for us once and scored zero goals.
Oh, God, 9 years ago. Can we stop bringing that up?
Yeah, but he's not going to get in ahead of a Wani, is he? He's not going to get in ahead of a Wani, realistically. Or would. Or if he's injured, then whatever, but...
No, I think finally a sensible stance from Nottingham Forest on that one, not to put that, not to get that deal through. Yeah,
absolutely.
Do you mean that in comparison to being sensible about not selling Mangala?
Listen, what did I say at the start? No, Mangala. Listen, if somebody's coming in for our fourth choice midfielder for 30 million, I'm selling him.
Fourth choice.
He's fourth choice. He's fourth choice. He's behind the
How many times have you played Yates over Mangala?
So Sangare gets injured. There's another two players in front of him, Mr. Ed.
Stop. No more Mangala. That's it.
He is fourth choice. He's fourth choice.
How can it be? If Sangare gets injured, he's next man up. That's not fourth choice.
I agree.
Yeah, that's fourth choice.
It was a defensive match.
There's three midfielders. There's three midfielders, and he's number 4. What are you talking about?
Because
Dominguez, Danilo, and Sangare ahead of him.
How can he be fourth choice? Think about it, Ed. Think about it.
Can we settle this with the poll?
If Sangare gets injured, it's next man up.
Should we sell Mangala for 30 million? Oh,
how is he not fourth choice?
Legally binding referendum.
We're not talking about Mangala. That's it. He's not Forest problem. No Mangala. Right,
Ben's
I'm going to do
got
some
the answer,
super
right?
chats.
We're ahead of him. That makes him 4th choice.
If Sangare's injured,
Anyway.
he's next man up. That makes him
Yes,
second choice.
yeah,
then.
number 4.
Oh my God, I'm going to do this stream on my
Does
own
that-
in a minute.
End of discussion.
Hell.
There's no more to
And-
talk about.
Yes, end of discussion. End of discussion.
You know what? I'll mute
Shut
myself.
up.
I'll mute myself.
Right, let me get the super chats in. Brandon with the £10, one of the best streams tonight, lads. Brandon, you haven't watched many streams. I didn't think it's going well, but you're an absolute legend. Thank you so much for the £10. 346 Moody with the 5 months, absolute legend. Thank you so much. TC with the £5. Thank you, buddy. The only saving Matt Turner will be attempting of the rest of the season is on a Boots meal deal, hopefully, he says. Do they still do those meal deals in Boots? As you're a working man now, you must go nip into Boots every now and again to check for your meal. You're on mute.
I'm not that well paid, mate.
Thank you so much, TC, for the £5. And Paul, the legend T, with the 5 months membership. Thank you so much. Just a quick reminder, we are now live on Instagram as well. I see you guys at Instagram. Ben, G Rands, Neil, Alex, Alan, JB. You should be able to get your comments in there as well. We'll get them shouted out. Can I just do a quick massive shout out to Nottingham now and then, our boy Dave, running that Instagram account like an absolute trooper and doing a great job. If you guys have Instagram, could you give us a quick follow on there? It would be much appreciated. It's at official FFTV. I'll pop the link in the chat for you guys now, or at least I'll try to. My computer is locking up. If one of the mods could do it, I would be much appreciated as I'm having issues. So, Mark, if you're still there, what is going on with this stupid computer? Can you guys still hear me?
Yeah.
There it is. The Stream Elements one. There it is. Thank you very much. So give us a follow there. We'll shout a few of you guys out. We will be giving away the gnome very shortly. Once I get my computer fixed, we'll do that just after the close of the window. Okay, we've still got another player to talk about, guys, who we haven't touched on at all. And that's the Wonder Kid. And I'm pretty sure you guys are going to be fighting over who wants to take the lead on this. So before I pick on anyone, is there anyone who wants to take the lead on this conversation? Anyone know much about him? I should have just said him off the start and I would have got you lot silent. Why didn't I think of that? Look at that chat. Oh, the silence is beautiful. Okay, let's bring up his stats. So you guys can see what we're getting here. With Rodrigo Ribeiro, no relation to Yuri as far as I know, unless one of these boys is going to tell me otherwise. Again, shout out to SofaScore for putting this together for us. Now, this was his under 18s European Championship campaign because basically it had more stats and would give us a better idea of what he's done. So he was ranked 7th in all the strikers in that competition. His overall rating was a 7.36, which put him 2nd. He scored 3 goals, which was 2nd as well. Big chances conversion, he's at 75%, which is 3rd. Touches per goal is 41, which is 2nd. Touches per shot, 8.2. Goals per minute, I like this one, 61, which was ranked 1st. Shots per game, 3. My God, yeah, I'm liking the sound of this kid. I know it's the under 18s tournament, but it is what it is. And touches in the opposition half, he averages 7.6, which is 2nd. And as Dave is saying in the chat, they're better than Origi. So just a couple of things I want to add. And, you know, I'm not going to put anyone on the spot because let's face it, he's a young kid. He signed a new contract with Sporting and they've attached a 69 million euros release fee clause on that as well on the new contract. Then they've shipped him out on loan to Forest. However, Forest do have an option to buy on this one. It's rumored to be somewhere between 15 and 20 million. I like him. It's only limited what I've seen of him. I can't, you know, I'm sure Mark's already bought him on Football Manager and tested him out. But what do you guys think? Let's not talk about the player necessarily. I want to talk about the opportunity. So you caught my eye. Where does he fit in to this equation is what I would say in terms of We've got Taiwo ahead of him, Wood pending this injury. There's talks of another striker, and he's bought in on loan for 6 months. Kind of make this make sense, Lemmy. How do we get this one going?
I mean, I like it, but unfortunately, it's got a very similar and distinct air of Andre Santos about it, which is upsetting.
Yeah.
Another wonder kid who we managed to get on loan with high prospects. Lots of people were really raving about him, saying, yes, he's the next big thing. He's going to be able to really do good things for you. And then he didn't play ever.
Yeah, but who was the manager?
And especially with, well, especially now that we've got a striker where we only really play a one striker formation, it's going to take a lot to really, it's going to take a lot almost to become the second choice, especially in a Premier League game. If we're either chasing a game or even trying to hold on to a game, I don't see where there's going to be many opportunities for him. Thankfully, we're still in some kind of a cup competition where he's going to be able to earn his stripes, hopefully from the start. I think starting against Bristol is probably going to be his best opportunity to really hit the ground running and try and show what he's going to be capable of. But it just has an air of Andre Santos about it, which it kind of doesn't concern me, but it just feels like a bit of a waste. But hopefully it's going to be something that we are going to be able to utilise. That's the only thing I can really hope on it.
What position does he play?
Central defensive midfielder, so he's going to be directly compared to Mangala.
Okay.
See, I'm not going to do the
YouTube. I'm not going to do. Yeah, well, if you shut up. I'm not going to do the normal YouTube thing, which is, have you noticed YouTube said, I've not seen a great deal of this guy. What they mean is they've never seen or heard of him in their life, right? I'm not going to do that because I haven't seen him play. So therefore, we haven't got a great deal to add, apart from the fact that hopefully he'll get a chance. And if he gets a chance, hopefully he can prove himself. But yeah, he's not a Mangala replacement, is he?
The question, go on, Ben.
I was just going to say, I heard on Twitter the same words that were spoken about Omobamidele, that he's a so-called wonder kid. So there's obviously lots of potential there. I haven't really heard of him either, but there's lots of people who do know him that rave about him in the same way that people did about Omobamidele.
The point I'm trying to get to, boys, is, I guess in layman's terms, what is the point? Do you get what I'm saying, Rob? It's like,
he's Portuguese, and maybe Nuno knows people that know he's good. I mean, Nuno must have an opinion on him because he's Portuguese, part of the Portuguese youth setup, right? So, there's going to be some inside information. I don't think he's the sort of person that you can throw into. If we're 2-1 down against Bournemouth and Awoniyi comes off injured, I'm not sure he's the kind of person that's going to get thrown on and equalise for us.
I think it's injury cover, isn't it? We can't risk a situation like this again, where if Taiwo goes off injured, then all you've got as a backup is Chris Wood. I mean, Chris Wood could easily get injured, and then you've got no strikers at all. Then you start.
He's not even played a senior game for Sporting. That's what.
Yeah. No, but he's going to have time. I mean, maybe he'll get played in the FA Cup. He's going to have time to train. And like I say, if you play him as that third striker, then he's only going to get called on once.
I mean, I'd have no objection to it if we were kind of 8th in the table with nothing to worry about, but that's not the situation that we're in right now.
But it's a very...
Are you against this one?
Yeah, go on, Rob. Are you against it?
No, I'm not against it. I'm in favour of any striker coming in at the moment. And to be honest, I'd be quite happy to see Origi go and take his 200 grand a week with him.
Yeah.
But I just feel like this isn't the cover that we need. We're going to be in some dire situations in games in the next few weeks and months where we're going to need to bring someone on who we know is going to make an impact. Or, if we put them in front of goal, that they're going to put it away, not they're going to freeze up because they've never really, to go from the third tier of Portuguese football to the most demanding league in the world, and he's going to be coming on getting scraps like 15 minutes here and there. Are we really expecting him to be that good that he's, if he's that freaking good, why aren't Sporting playing him every week in their own league?
It's for me, it's a very low risk option because if he does well,
it's probably costing nothing, But I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think that's it as far as striker cover goes. I'm all for more strikers coming in, But I mean,
I don't agree with that.
What does he give you potentially that Osong doesn't give you? Osong never seems to get a go.
But if we're talking specifically about this deal, I think it's a very low risk option. If he's anywhere near the potential of what they're expecting him to be, and we've got an option. Let's say he becomes a wonder kid and he gets the opportunities off the bench, whatever, and he does something amazing between now and the end of the season. We've got a €15 million or £50 million option to buy that player. But if it doesn't work out, we've not lost anything. It's a very low risk option, and he's not going to obviously be starting games. So I would agree with Rob. I'd still be looking for somebody else, but as just to isolate that deal, I don't have a problem with this deal at all. I think it's a win-win situation for us, really, because if he turns out to be a baller, then we can get him for 15 million.
I agree that cup games is a good shout, and if we have a decent cup run, but I mean, there's the Bristol game, and then we're playing Man United. Are we really going to select him against Man United?
Yeah, exactly. And go on, you got a point to make?
Yeah. I'm just reading off the Athletic, which I think most people agree are normally reasonably reliable.
They're twats, man. I'm sorry, that Daniel Taylor is a twat, but sorry.
They say they're Forest fans. They're fucking idiots.
He's a joke. Sorry, Ant. Go on. I now I've discredited your source. Go on.
This is David Ornstein.
He's a Man U fan.
So the deal is a loan with an option to buy that could become an obligation. So it can become an obligation.
Yes.
The package would be worth more than 10 million, and if the transfer becomes permanent, he will sign a 6-year deal with a Premier League club. This is the bit I wanted to bring your attention to. It is a move that has involved super agent George Mendes.
Oh.
There you go then.
So now we know why.
So everything is clients. I don't really think you can make a throwaway comment like what's he got that a song hasn't got. I mean, you could say that about any player just because he plays in the same position as he's a similar age.
Well, you can't say that. Different positions, Crypto. How can you compare different players?
No, according to the transfer market,
not comparing Mbappe to a Worrell.
Both strikers.
Terrible.
You can't compare him to a song. He must be better than a song. A song isn't a Portuguese.
Why do people go on about a song just because is like in the academy? Why do they assume he's going to be any good?
It's not me saying this, by the way.
I wouldn't.
I'm quoting the bus driver here.
Yeah, there's always this assumption. I've seen it with other clubs as well. Bring the kids in. Have it ever occurred to you the kids might be crap?
That's what Alan Hansen said about 25 years ago.
Look at Alex Myron's the perfect example.
We're not going to win the Premier League with kids.
Don't bring Alex Myton into it.
Alex Myton is probably one of the worst players I've ever seen in a Forest shirt after Matt Turner.
Yeah, what did we sell Brennan Johnson for again? So, there's two ends to that argument.
Yeah, okay.
We've got no confidence in our academy players now.
He might be brilliant. He might be brilliant. Let's hope
this
he is.
This is what I mean. What are we losing out on?
Yeah, there's no problem bringing him in on loan. None.
I do agree. We need another striker, but I don't have a problem with his deal. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that should be the end of.
I'm a bit worried by the obligation because this could be Carvalho Mark II, right? I'm a bit worried about the obligation.
Well, Chris Wood Mark II, surely.
No.
Well, what was the fee on the obligation? Do we know?
It says over 10 million. It says.
And I'm pretty sure what I've read, the obligation was as long as Forest don't get relegated, which is a lot less than play 3 games, which is what we had.
Play 3 games and get injured. Yeah,
and that means we're committed to buying him if we stay up.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Yeah,
we'll just.
We were committed to Chris Wood if we played 3 games.
Yeah, but Chris Wood had at least scored, 100 odd goals in the league, right? I mean,
Wood's gone at the end of the season, hasn't he? So that is a position we need to fill. Wood's gone, unless we extend him.
It is risky, isn't it, Joe?
Not that way.
Because what you're saying there, Joe, if the obligation is we stay up, let's assume Forest do stay up. Because I can't see him getting much game time. I kind of want to see him because he's showing a new toy and what have you. But are Forest seriously going to commit? Let's say it's 15 million. to a player that they haven't tested in the Premier League, and just because we've stayed up, it's like an automatic, fine. Fine's probably too strong a word. You get what I'm saying, though? We've suddenly got to commit to a player. Or is this good business where we've seen this kind of thing happen with everyone goes on about the Brighton model, getting the South Americans and what have you. Forest have potentially scouted. Maybe we give the scouts some credit here. Scouted a decent upcoming talent, getting him in for 10, 15 million quid. And then we're looking at someone who may develop into someone who's worth 30, 40, 50, 60 million, whatever it may be.
I wouldn't quite go that far. Go on, Lemmy. I wouldn't quite go that far as it being like an absolute masterstroke from the scouts, but it's significantly better than what deal we had for Chris Wood, where all he had to do was start 3 Premier League appearances and we were guaranteed to have to buy him at the end of the season, regardless of where we finished in the league. Like we could have ended up buying Chris Wood for 15 million if we went down to the Championship, which would have been absolutely dreadful. And all he did was start 3 games and then all of a sudden he was injured again. So we really shot ourselves in the foot with that one. So it's definitely better than the Chris Wood deal that we had 12 months ago. But I agree, it's probably not ideal, especially on a young player, only 18 years old, who we're really only going to be using as a substitute occasionally in a Premier League game. Maybe he gets a chance to start in 1 or 2 FA Cup games, because that's as far as I could really think that we're going to be able to get, unfortunately. But it's better than what we had for Chris Wood. I know that we're probably still scrambling. It's all we seem to do in January transfer windows is do nothing for 29, 30 days, and then all of a sudden hit the panic button on the last 2 days of the month of January. But at least it's not as bad as what we set ourselves up for at the end of last year.
But let's give Mendes some credit. He's got a proven track record of bringing good players in, creating teams. Look, let's not forget what he did with Wolves. And look how many players came through there. The likes of Jota, the likes of Mendes. Neves. There's some top players that have come through that system. So let's give him a chance, because he is another one that's been linked with Mendes, and let's see if it's possible. I just don't think there's that much to lose, because we are gonna if we don't extend, and even if we do extend Chris Wood, he's not going to be on the contract he's on now. So that's what 5 million that he's saving a year, 5.5 million maybe. So I wouldn't have thought, even if we had to sign him, that he'd be on that kind of contract. He won't be anywhere near that. So I just don't see a lot of negatives in this deal personally. If he hits the ground running and he turns out to be a wonder kid, then we've hit the jackpot, haven't we?
As well, the Portugal has been a hotbed of young talent over the past 10-15 years. A lot of brilliant talent comes out of Portugal. So having Mendes here, I think is a positive myself. I'd like us to get some young Portuguese in. If we can't get Brazilians, then Portuguese is the next best thing.
Are these the same scouts who brought in Matt Turner and Vlachodimos?
No, this is these are Mendes deals. We're not talking about scouts, I don't think. Now we're talking about.
One of the previous comments was saying give a shout out to the scouts, but
Oh,
yeah,
who's
it's
that
definitely
from?
Mendes and Nuno, isn't it? It's them
there's a bit more. Yeah, there's a bit more joined up thinking, I think. We'll
let me give you guys a quick couple of updates. So confirmation, Matz Sels, documents signed, everything's done. Documents have been signed. Forest are now going to make the arrival of the Belgium official. So very shortly, Forest will be releasing the official statement that he is our number one. You can tell I'm extremely excited by that. Now, some more news and getting notes to say that will be it for Nottingham Forest for the window. Those 3 players. They wanted another backup striker, couldn't get it done with Akpom, had a look at Mir, and that's going to be it. So with that in mind, Crypto, have Forest done enough in this window, bringing in those 3 players? Chat, what do you think? Start rating this chat. Should we rate the chat?
Don't do that.
But just a quick shout out. We're nearly at 500 likes. There's still nearly 800 of you in here. Get us up to 500 likes. We're on
And
407.
please subscribe if you're new.
Subscribe as well, absolutely, if you are new. And yeah, Crypto, kick us off. Have Forest done enough this transfer window with these 3 signings?
I think there or thereabouts. I mean, for me, we definitely need a third striker. So it all depends really whether that young kid is good enough. Because if a striker does get injured, then you can't just have one striker and no backup on the bench like we have at the moment. So a striker was definitely on the sheet. A goalkeeper was definitely on the sheet. I do agree that I'd rather have gone in for like a world-class type keeper as opposed to another has-been. But at the end of the day, he's going to be better than Turner and Black. So, those are the 2 core positions. And then I think it's great that we've gone in for Reyna, because with Callum Hudson-Odoi not looking completely confident, again, that would be a position that we needed to strengthen. So for me, the 3 kind of core positions that we did want to strengthen were strengthened. Whether it was with the right player or not, we'll yet to see. But I think we've definitely got to give them a chance. I don't want to write anyone off based on stats. And don't forget, it's a different league for these guys, so they may struggle, or they may see it as an opportunity, but we won't know until a few matches are under their belt.
What are you saying, that? Because you kind of came into the night pretty tired, and also not that. I remember at this time in the summer, you had tears and Chris Wood in your pants as well, because we were just signing Sangare. We just sent Tom down there to help with the signing, and now I feel like I'm struggling to keep you awake right now.
Yeah. I'm disappointed in a way. Right. Before anybody jumps on my back, I understand the financial situation is difficult, right? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But I think there are ways you can do things, and I don't think selling one of your better players is the right way of going about it. I think there are lots of other players that we could have sold, but we could have got off the books one way or another. And they're still there. Origi is still there. Tavares still there.
Batman, we still got to do our traditional 5 to 11
exactly.
Batman.
That's true. Yeah.
Get the bat signal out. Yeah.
I can't help feeling that we could have dropped those 2 guys and maybe brought in better quality loans from somewhere. I'm actually not too bothered about the business we've got. I mean, to my mind, I've got no idea about this goalkeeper. He may be as bad as the other 2, so I'm not going to jump up and down and squeal with delight over that. Striking, it's all down to fitness, isn't it? If Taiwo and Wood can keep fit, then we're okay. Yeah, we're okay. Reyna, yeah, I'm excited to see what he can do. I'm not holding out. I'm not expecting, I'm not going to like expect him to be world class, but I'm hoping he can be really good and exciting. Ribeiro, don't know anything about him. So yeah, underwhelmed. One thing I'm more pleased about in this transfer window is getting the players back that we're going to be getting back. They are like new signings. Do you know what I mean? I'm more excited about Niakate being back than I am about signing Ribeiro, for example, So when those guys come back, I think we'll be okay because of the squad we've already got, not because of what we've brought in this window, if that makes sense. So underwhelmed. I'm not mad on a goalie. And that's about it, really.
Okay. Just bring your thoughts in, Rob. What have I pressed here? DP Legend saying lives are better than this for members. 99p a month is an absolute bargain. Get on it, people. If you do want to become a member, get the member perks. We have member streams. You get all the goals during the live matches. You don't miss a shot. And of course, you get all the emojis. By the way, there's a new emoji added. Have you all seen some man on a bike? If you're a member, check your emojis out and let's see them spammed in the chat.
Let's see the crypto emojis.
He's loving it, man. I've never seen Crypto so excited about it. To become a member, all you have to do is click that link. We love all our members. We're going to be adding more and more perks as well for the members. That's the link you need. And there's Raphael with the 4 months, you absolute legend. Tom saying,
can I just thank the chat for all the likes? 425. If we could get to 500, that would be a record. That would be fantastic. I know it's pushing it, but it would be really nice.
Tom saying, I tweeted earlier saying I was mad about the goalkeeper, but I've calmed down now and I'll give him a chance. He doesn't need to be Allison. He just needs to be 7 out of 10 each match. He just needs to be better than Turner. I would say that would be a good jumping off point. DJ with the 17 months. What an OG he is. Oh my God, there's so many. Oh, Crypto,
DJ.
you're so ugly, man. Look at the chat, man. It's like just pure crypto emojis in there. Bloody hell. All right, Rob, give us your thoughts then on these 3 players and Forest transfer window in general. And just before, we're going to give away the gnome. The gnome is incoming to those who have entered. And I'm sure he has, mate. I'm sure he has. Go on, Rob, over to you, mate. I'm going to get the gnome. I'll be back.
So can I just confirm all 3 are loans, right? Including the keeper is a loan.
Yeah.
Right, okay. So, I mean, I'm not knocking that, by the way. Loans is what got us promoted. I think it's addressed the 3 positions that they said were important and that we said were important. You know, we might have won. I mean, I'm very happy about Reyna. I think he's going to give us a big boost. Obviously, he's gone off the boil with Dortmund, which is why they put him out on loan. So I don't know. I'm not necessarily expecting him to hit the ground running, but he's got to play every game. He's got to start, and he's got to be given the chance to play himself into form. The other 2, I don't know. If the goalkeeper has a pair of feet, then he's better than Turner. I mean, I think, you know, as soon as we see the team come out and Turner's not in goal, that's going to give us as much of a lift as having Reyna.
Yeah.
So as for the Wonder Kid striker, I mean, if all goes well, we probably won't need to use him that much. But I mean, I do worry about whether he is sufficient cover if we get injuries to Wood or Awoniyi, or God forbid both, because I don't know. I'm guessing we've kept Origi now. I don't know whether that counts for much, but
it looks like it, doesn't it?
Yeah. So I guess between the 2 of them, then we have got in effect 4 strikers on the books. So I don't know. I'll probably give it 5 out of 10, and that's like 4 for Reyna and 1 for the other 2 combined. So it's right. At least we've got something to be excited about. You know, I just hope that they're all available for Sunday.
Bit harsh given the keeper signing of 1.
Well, is anyone excited about? I mean, the only thing I'd say, I hate to say it, but he is an international. We now have 5 international keepers. At least it's an international for quite a decent team. I checked; he last played on 15th of November for Belgium. So,
do you know who was also a Belgium international?
Oro Mangala, was it?
Keeper.
Yeah, it was Oro Mangala. Is pretty good.
Oro Mangala, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, the Luton keeper is in the Belgium squad as well, actually, Kaminski. But no, I'll give it a 5 out of 10. It's not terrible. I think they've probably made a decision not to throw money around because they think it will help their position with the mitigation that they're making. Yeah. You know, I can understand where it's come from. Hope at least that they haven't gone and brought in about 7 players, some of which we know are going to be crap. Like, I mean, you know, last year we were sort of shaking our head thinking like, what are you for? You know, we were sort of scratching our head looking at some of them. So I think they've been more focused. They haven't blown a load of cash. They've taken what's available. And I can see that they've worked hard. I mean, we've had some good names mentioned that they've not got, but they've tried for them, and that's something. So I'm not down on it. I'm not super excited. Reyna's the highlight.
Okay, before we get the others' thoughts in, let's give away the now infamous Nottingham Forest gnome. Look at that bad boy right there. This is a members only giveaway. Everyone who's put their name in the hat on the community tab, best of luck to you. Remember, this is a UK only deal, Owen. And I will be posting this out hopefully tomorrow. So best of luck to everyone who's in there. As always, we've got to bring up the old wheel of doom to do this. So I've chucked the name in. I will spin it twice just to have a backup in case the winner doesn't claim it. I'll give you 24 hours and then I'll give it to the backup. So, are you guys ready? Here we go with random NFL teams, apparently. Best of luck to everyone. Now, it's done by your YouTube username, so forgive me if I don't recognize the name off the back of it.
If you win and you're in the chat,
sure.
let us know, and let us know where you are in the world as well. So if we do have to
And
spin
the
again.
winner of the infamous gnome goes to...
Ooh, it's hovering.
12.
Aptly named.
That's a very
Forest
promising
Fan
name.
Congratulations. Haven't you given
you in
that
the
vote?
chat?
No, we have now. Congratulations to Forest Fan 12. Drop us a WhatsApp. The number is in the chat somewhere. And you've got till this time tomorrow to claim it. If you don't claim it, the winner
if you're not
is
in the UK.
and you're not in the UK. Let's see who the backup winner will be.
Did you tell him that it's got Turner on the shirt at the back?
Yeah.
Oh, it's Nick Clark. It's Nick Clark. Nick, coming your way. Keep it off Logan. I know Nick's in the UK. Congratulations to Forest Fan 12. You got till tomorrow to claim it. Otherwise, Nick.
Or move to the UK.
Or move to the UK. Yeah, that is another option. So that's the giveaway done. We still do have. We're 5 for a 6 man right now. We're a 6 man. Yeah. Okay. We still do have the beautiful Forest Stadium to give. Look at that. Sorry, ground. I don't want to offend Nathan.
You said it on purpose.
Yeah. This will be given away. We'll do it sometime next week. That's coming your way. If you do want to purchase this or the smaller version of the City Ground, I've pinned the link in the chat for you guys as well. And as always, if you want to keep your happy clapper juice nice and chilled, don't forget you can get your bottle. Use code FFTV10 on
you want
checkout.
to be a liar.
And there you go. There's Ez's #1 fan.
Mine.
All of these are officially licensed. You can get them from Foco. Shout out to Foco for sending us all those goodies. Congratulations to Forest Fan 12. And make sure you get in touch with us. Okay, so boys, couple of things.
Can I just say, Wolfie, that the window is now closed?
Officially.
It is indeed closed, and that's it.
Officially, but from memory, last year we didn't sign Navas until like past midnight last year.
Correct. They've still got an hour to get paperwork in and stuff like that. Ez, do me a favor, sit next to my pants,
you can't afford me, mate.
Right, couple of things to update you on. So Aurier, let me just find my notes on Aurier, the latest update on him. Where the frick has it gone? Aurier to Galatasaray is as good as done. There's still some paperwork that needs to be signed off. Now remember, the Turkish transfer window is open, I think, for another week or so.
Another week,
There's no massive rush on it, but his destination is Galatasaray, and that looks like it is going to happen. Let's not forget about Harry Arter. He's been on the phone to his agent as well, according to Matt, reminding him that his contract is up in the summer and he needs a renewal or some weird clause in there that's going to extend it. How is that not going to happen? And we now have official confirmation that Matz Sels is a red.
Hey!
You know what I'm frustrated? I remember ranting on a video the other day, boys, where I just said, "Get me anyone." Yeah,
you got
now you're retracting that statement.
No, I'm just saying, like, do they take everything we say literally? So that's happened there as well. Okay, let me just quickly catch up on some of the super chats as well. DJ with 17 months, we've done that. Paul with the 199. Life as a Forest fan. Shit window turns out good. He's saying, thanks so much for the 199, buddy. Ziggy with the 149 super sticker. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Randoms with another gifted sub. In fact, he's gifted 2. Randoms, you are an absolute legend of the channel. If you received that gifted sub, make sure you show him some love. Okay. Can Morrow please go to Turkey? I don't think he needs a hair transplant. He looks all right. But So let's confirm some things. So 10 players, as I said, have now left Forest either on loan or on permanent deals. So technically, Forest squad is down from 44 or whatever it was to 35 with the new additions coming in. It's still very bloated, isn't it, boys? It's still very bloated, but we're getting there. We're getting there. We're starting to. You can't really. I mean, getting 10 out is quite an achievement in itself. So on the outs, I'd say I've been quite happy with it, but it still needs more to come out, don't it, Crypto? There's still too many in that squad.
Yeah, there's still players who can potentially leave and who probably won't get played. I mean, the best example is Joe Worrell. Is Joe Worrell going to play in a Forest shirt again? I fucking hope not. But let's see. You can't. The thing is, and somebody mentioned it earlier, Forest always seems like they do everything last minute, and if you're going to try and shift out 15 players last minute, it's not gonna work. So we've done well to get rid of some of the timber, but it is what it is. Let's see. The next half of the season will tell. One of the points Ez made earlier about would we take Morgan Gibbs White 80 million, not halfway through the season. I think that's a big consideration for me. Is we need to basically stay up this season. There's certain players who we need to keep to secure our Premier League status. So I am indeed obsessed with Joe Worrell. So yeah, look, I think it's been an okay window.
What's your rating out of 10?
My rating out of 10. I mean, we got rid of Matt Turner. Well, we haven't got rid of him, but we've got a new keeper. We've got a new striker. Someone to play in where Callum Hudson chose playing. So I'd say 6 out of 10, maybe. It's hard to say, isn't it? Because we don't know how well these guys are going to perform at the end of the day. But we can't. I don't want to go in like thinking negatively, because that's not going to help anyone. For all we know, the goalie could be really good. We just don't know. So let's see what happens.
Joe, we were about to come on to you about that. Your thoughts on the window? How are you assessing it now that the window has slammed shut, as they say?
Well, my question to the rest of the guys who kind of favoured more negatively would be more why? Because I know leading up, especially into January and when we signed Nuno, I'm pretty specifically remember saying this is the chance for Nuno to assess what he's got. We only want to bring in 2, maybe 3 players and just access anyone who's not going to be critical. And I feel like we've met almost all of those needs. Maybe not to the extent that we'd like to be able to bring in, but after getting hit with financial profitability and sustainability possible penalties coming our way, that's then going to be a massive block to the amount of quality players that you can then try and bring in. Like, yes, we're all probably going to slam Sels for coming in. He's not the goalkeeper that we'd like. We'd all like more of a outstanding goalkeeper who's a proven out and out number one. But if you're a club if people know that you're a club who need a number one because your goalkeepers are absolutely honking, they're not just going to give you one away on charitability causes, are they? They're going to make you pay absolute top price.
Not any of your rivals.
Their starting goalkeeper, who they're then going to have to look to replace. It's a position in a January transfer window that you're absolutely scarpered on trying to be able to bring in on a good deal. You're never going to be able to get it. So yeah, we had to panic buy a goalkeeper, but I feel like that was always going to be an inevitability. We were never going to be able to pluck out a diamond from that. But
sorry, just to interrupt you for a second. Apologies, and then we'll get your rating. So there's an official statement now out on Forest. So I can clarify that it is a permanent deal on Matz Sels. So the 31-year-old has joined on a 3.5-year deal, which keeps him at the City Ground until the summer of 2027. Sels, Belgian international, arrives on Trentside, having made 175 appearances for Strasbourg, captaining the club this season. The shop stopper began his career at Belgium, blah, blah, blah. Sels made an immediate impact, Ghent, yeah, whatever. After spells with Newcastle, where he flopped. They didn't say that bit. and Anderlecht. Sels moved to Strasbourg in 2018, going on to establish himself as a key player for the French side, helping them win the Coupe de la Ligue in 2019. After a 6-year spell in France, Sels joins Forest and becomes the club's third signing of the January transfer window. And for those of you interested, his shirt number will be 26 at his time on Trent side. So the deal itself, from the deals that we were hearing that who were saying it was going to be permanent, this is up to a £5 million fee, but it will be based, no doubt, on add-ons, on appearances, on clean sheets, and maybe it'll be quite cheap if we're going to base it on clean sheets, you know? So that's to confirm, officially done on a permanent deal. We will do a roundup video for you guys tomorrow, kind of just highlighting all the key points of the transfer window. And Joe, sorry I interrupted you, mate. Finish off what you're thinking on the window and the ratings.
No, it's all right. That bringing up that it's a permanent deal for around 5 million probably perfectly kind of summarizes the way that I'm thinking, because I'm more looking at the players going out, and if we're thinking that Aurier is going to be going to Galatasaray, did you say for around the same figure? I'm guessing. I don't think it's going to be much, but I imagine it's going to be in that ballpark for a
Aurier. The talk is going to be a free deal. Get his wages off. Yeah, but it's still in negotiation.
Yeah, I mean the main thing is going to be his his salary that he's on. But again, a player that we brought in for a free, and then we're looking to kind of ship on. Mangala that we brought in for I think 12-13 million, and we've already got a 10 million loan clause for half of a season. I think that is really good business, regardless of if we think he's our best player or not. That is just it is financially good business. We've brought in a couple of good loan players who are going to want to try and prove themselves and who are going to be able to do backup, and we've not gone overboard like we have done in the past 3 or 4 windows where we've really hit the panic button and we've bought 2 or 3 players for each position and just hope that one of them sticks. I think we've gone about it much more sensibly, and I'd give it about a 7 or an 8 if I'm perfectly honest.
Yeah, that's quite high.
I think it's good. Going into the window, I didn't want more than 3 players coming in, and I wanted to try and ship out some of the players who who were surplus to requirements, so that we could then try and raise more funds up, because I knew that we were going to be running into a problem further down the line. We've run into it more quickly than I anticipated, but I think we've gone about it pretty well. Yes, it has been very late, all of the business that we've done, but with AFCON, we can't exactly be affording to ship off Mangala in the middle of January when we've got absolutely no one to be able to cover it. So it is what it is. I think it's been pretty good.
Fair enough.
Well, I mean, I'm lucky to be able to like speak after all the guys have said their piece, and that news about the permanent deal for Sels does change my score a little bit. But in all, if we look at the bigger picture, it's been a shit January, hasn't it? Overall, the transfer window has been one of the worst January transfer windows that I remember in recent years. So all over, teams are more cautious than ever. Obviously, this PSR FFP has got a knock-on effect, and you can see it all over, all over Europe, and certainly in the Premier League. So we're not alone in that. In terms of my viewing on what's gone out, I'm quite happy with it. Like I said, I mean, I will just say my last bit on Mangala bit. He wanted to go. He wanted to go. So if he wanted to go, he wants to get.
Hold on, let him finish. Let him finish.
Right, yeah, jump in when I'm finished, please. Right. So if he's not happy to be a backup, which I don't think he is, and I think that is part of the reason why he's been willing to go, getting 8 to 10 million for him as a loan fee is a fantastic deal, because you're right, he could quite possibly come back to us. So that I think is a good deal. I think the other players that we've have managed to get out, like the likes of Aurier, on big wages, that's another bonus, So with the players coming in, we all agreed 3 positions needed filling, and you touched on it already, Wolfie. They clearly are listening to us, because all our fan base are very educated and know what they're talking about, because I think the entire FFTV viewership said the same thing. Those 3 positions. If we're going to 2 or 3 players, but if we're going to, we're looking at a goalkeeper, another winger type player, midfield player, and a striker. We filled those positions. Yes, not with a cream of a crop, but we've not also stuck ourselves with big debts to fill, with big deals and big contracts to these players to try and get them in. So, as I see it, and Ant said this earlier, I'm more excited by getting the players back. And these guys, apart from the goalkeeper and maybe Reyna, are backups, really. You know, the first team, if it's fully fit, I'm more than happy with. And I think there should be that competition for players like Morgan Gibbs-White from Reyna, for Callum Hudson-Odoi, and even from Elanga from Reyna. So that competition is good. The striker, I think, like I said, it's a low-risk option. You know, if he gets minutes here and there, all the better, and let's see what we can get out of him. The goalkeeper, yes, we've got what was bottom of the pile, really, but I still think it's better than what we've got. So I think we're all happy to not see Matt Turner in goal this weekend or going forward at all for Nottingham Forest. And let's hope Sels is half decent. So based on that, I'm going to give it 6.5 out of 10. I'm tempted to actually tempted to take a little bit of a point off because Nuno proved to be a liar because he says we're not getting a goalkeeper in, and we debated this at the time, didn't we? Is he saying it just? Is it possible that he's not telling the truth, or is he just? I thought he was very straight-laced. I thought he means what he says and says what he means, but I think his arms being twisted. That, though? When he was in a press conference, he said we're not after.
I think he said that before the Brentford game and before the Arsenal game.
No, Turner. That's what I was just about to get onto. That obviously the circumstances have forced his hand, and the fan base as well. We asked this question in our chat and on our community page about a week ago, didn't we? We said if you could only fill one position, what would it be? And everyone said overwhelmingly 90%, wasn't it, goalkeeper? So the fans have spoken, they've listened, and I think he's had to change his mind from what he's seen. There's no doubt, if we've said this before, if you see something and you don't then change your opinion, then you're stupid. If the facts are in front of you...
There was a really good comment there, by the way, about Turner could go to the MLS, because doesn't the MLS window stay open?
It's still open longer. Yeah,
that would be fantastic. I would celebrate that more than signing Reyna. Honestly, I would... That is a really good shout. Hopefully someone's working that angle.
Rob, you've just got an agenda against Matt Turner.
No, I've got one against Vlachodimos more than Matt Turner.
Oh, bloody hell, we haven't even mentioned him. Okay, just some quick breaking news. Aguilera has been confirmed as joining Bristol Rovers on loan for the rest of the season.
Good for him.
Don't like that.
Can I ask a question? Because I don't know the answer to this. How many of these outgoings that everybody's celebrating are actually permanent?
Not many. The point is that a lot of the ones that are outgoings their contracts are pretty much up this year in quite a lot of the cases. So they'll be ditched. So it's a case of clearing the wages out.
You know what I'm hoping? I hope Nuno can do this. I hope the ownership allow him to do this. I'd like him to have a 25-man squad, or maybe even a little less. And the ones that aren't in the squad, just fuck them off to train the kids and everything. Keep them out of the way. We don't need them.
I agree.
Yeah, bomb squad. Yeah. You know,
I think that's what he wants.
With his play. Let him work with his core players. Yeah, I hope so. Okay,
I think we'll wrap it up there. It's been a great stream.
Epic.
Been emotional.
It's sorry we couldn't get. Sorry, Thomas. I don't know if you're still in here. We couldn't get him down to the city grounds and sign, but they all speak English today. So a shout out to Kieran as well for becoming a new member. If you haven't already, please do hit that like button. Subscribe to Forest Fan TV if you're new. Coming up tomorrow, we'll have a roundup video of the transfer window. We got a Bournemouth preview with Statman John, so keep an eye. No, that will come out on Saturday. Sorry. We've got the Predictor League coming up, and I think we'll do a Bournemouth preview Saturday night. I haven't spoken to these yet, so keep
just for my OCD. Just for my OCD. Please get up to 500 likes. We're on 476. Get up to 500 likes before we finish, please.
They can do that. 100%.
Amazing. That would be
100%.
amazing.
Otherwise, we'll have to do an extra 2 hours on what we thought.
Yeah.
Arsenal
Until we
review.
hit
Arsenal
500.
review. Gore stream starts at midnight.
So I hope you've all enjoyed the stream. I'm looking forward to seeing all your comments. I want to know, more importantly, what you guys think about the window, not these twats on here.
Yeah.
So make sure you watch the video that will come out tomorrow and let us know your thoughts on there. We're going to do an Arsenal one. We were going to put it in today, but honestly, there's just been too many talking points. If these guys shut up about Mangala for 5 minutes, maybe we could have spoken about it.
Blame Ez for that. I blame Ez.
No. You'll have to watch our post matches with AFTV guys to get our views.
And can I just add one thing, right? I'm still annoyed at this guy here underneath me, Ant, right? I called, I'll tell you why, right? I called him up after the Arsenal game, about half an hour, maybe an hour after the Arsenal game. I was still fuming at Matt Turner. And I thought, who else is going to be angry with me that we can just shout and swear at each other? Oh, you're right, mate. Yeah, no. Yeah. I'm like, Matt Turner, that guy down there. He's like, yeah, it's all right, though. It's all right. I was like, and he goes, I go, what's wrong with you? He goes, it is what it is and what have you. And I was like, and did you end up with the AFTV boys after the match? Yeah, we just finished up, mate. We had an absolute cracking time. I was like, how could you be that obsessed with him, Ant, that the anger for Matt Turner had disappeared from you by the time I told you?
Because we were in a Trenton, you couldn't actually tell whether what had happened. If I'd have seen it, then
I actually
we were
asked,
literally as far away, weren't we, as you could get from it.
I did see replay.
We're back at the Trenton stand-upper. So we didn't realise.
I told you, I said to you, it nutmegged him and then he kneed it in with his left leg. I was like, it nutmegged him. He's like, it happens.
Julian did say, if you keep Turner, you're going down.
Yeah,
he literally said it outright.
I thought it was funny that Ant swapped his half and half scarf for a Forest one to do the interviews as well.
Yeah, whatever. Listen, Ez was with me. He knows how fucking wound up I was at that game. So he knows.
I can tell you for a fact. He was like, I was like, he said this, that, and the other. He's like, yeah, but Robbie was really nice again, guys.
Yeah, I know. And you haven't seen the blooper reels. If you think he's a traitor,
oh my God, yeah. Should we tell him what Ez did?
Welcome to AFTV. I mean, FFTV.
Ez literally said, welcome to AFTV on FFTV. Honestly, Ant's rubbed off on him. All right, guys. Thank you so much for chilling with us. I hope
I wasn't sat that close.
What did you just say? Ant's rubbed Ez off.
And I said I wasn't sat that close to him, mate. Fucking hell.
On that note, we will see you tomorrow. Have a great night. Come on, you Reds.